Test, 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 test. What it do, y'all? What it do? Hello. What it do? What's up, Marcus? You know, what's up? Hello, Morgana. Hello. Thank you for the heart, me. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, everybody. Tap the screen. Tap the crap out of the screen. Tap the freaking heck out of the screen, y'all. You know what I want. Passed my finals for political class with A minus. Congrats, Marcus. What's up, J Nice? What's up, Dolphin? Hello. Hello, Lauren. What's up, Infectious? How is everyone doing today? We are doing political debates. We are debating MAGA. If you're a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop into the box. Tell me why you like Trump. Por qué? The word crap just got censored. W. What's up, HE Dubs? What's going on, y'all? We uh we just woke up. We just woke up. I tell people be pro-choice, go ahead. What you do is how I retaliate. I'm an auto tapper. W Lauren. Did I hear Trump investing in coal and called it beautiful clean coal? It's not the first time he's called coal clean. You don't like it when it's done to you. Actually, I don't think fetuses have preferences before 17, 18 weeks. Happy happy Thursday, Taylor. Dims are cheating again in California. Dude, what's going on? Do we even have an FEC right now? Is that true on my hat? No. I could. What's up, Diamond? What's up, Sarah? What's up, y'all? Chat, tap the screen. Let's get to 10K really quick. If you're a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop in the box. Yeah, we don't have an FEC right now. Galaxy, if you chew on it. I'm good, I'm good. Yeah, Young, you're prescribing murder, what you consider murder, to people who disagree with you, which is a whole mindfuck. Because the reason you disagree with them is because you think abortion's murder. How was movie morning? It was good. If it weren't for ballot harvesting, no blue states. Sure. I'll give you one thing. If we didn't have college, we might not have blue states. We didn't have college. If a woman opens her legs and gives consent, but then abortion, the kid, when no, young, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. What's going on, chat? The phone line is on too. If you're on YouTube and you want to debate, you can call this phone number right here. You can tell me why you like Trump. Guys, I'm so glad I'm not brainwashed with this whole abortion thing. Like somebody could come in and be the absolute worst candidate in the world and be the only one who's pro life and win and come in and just do what Trump's doing.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, Pickles.
What's up, bub? How are they cheating in California?
Oh gosh, I'm so glad you asked. Ballot harvesting. Now, it's legal in some states, but ballot harvesting is one of those blanket terms. It can mean different things. It can mean doing it the legal way, where you collect it for your sick grandmother. That's legal in some states. But when you got warehouses full of ballots that are on standby, let me just tell you, because I'm going to get kicked off any second now, because I'm surprised you even will discuss this. But I remember watching a YouTube video. You know, I watch a lot of those. And this lady was being interviewed. It was like a covert uh, interview. And she was talking about how they collect all these ballots. And she was talking about Republicans and Democrats. She'll take anyone's money. And the Republican comes to her and says, I need 60,000 votes. Well, they've got them procured and they can supply those those absentee ballots, no problem. Do you know that there's 23 million ballots out there just floating around? In California, this is all part of the scam. They mail the ballots to people who don't even ask for them. Everyone gets a mail in ballot. Whether or not you drive to the station and vote yourself, you get it in the mail. And these apartment complexes, I saw a YouTube video where the post office worker, the guy that was delivering them, was telling the interviewer, yeah, these things go for $10 a pop on the black market. This has been going on for a long time. Because you guys have the media on your side, they've been able to keep it hush hush this whole time. But shit's going to hit the fan this time. You guys are, I shouldn't say you guys, I don't think you personally are a cheater, but oh my gosh, there are so many operatives in the Democratic Party, these minions, and they've got the ballots. Why do you think, and remember I mentioned LBJ? He lost a Senate race one time. He said, never again will they announce their numbers before the opponent, because it's a big game. If they come out and say, okay, we've got this many votes, now the other side knows how many votes they need to come up with, how many absentee ballots. And I just watched a video on this a minute ago. And yeah, you know how like they sell data mining, they'll sell your name on a list. You can buy a list of dead people. And that gives, I'm just telling you, there are so many shenanigans. You guys are really going to be disappointed in your party when all this hits the fan, and I think it's going to this time. I don't think they're bold enough to do it, but because you know I do the Robin Hood, and it's part of the betting markets, and so I bet some like $127 on Spencer Pratt a few nights ago, and I was up late watching it. And all the news stations, everyone said he came in second and he's going to make it to the runoff. You've probably heard that too, right?
No,
I
but I
mean,
wasn't paying attention.
well, that's what all the news, even now. But when you go in the betting markets, he's at 9 cents per share, and that ramen chick is at 23. So this ought to tell you there's people out there that know that the fix is in. Why else would you be betting on ramen right now? Nobody in their right mind would, unless you knew something that the average person doesn't know. So just wait, you're going to see, dude. This is going to hit the fan, and you guys
I,
are going to say,
I
then
like
you're going to say, well, Republicans do it too. Fine, but this just proves the system needs to get fixed. We need to hunker down and secure our system.
so I highly doubt that this is 100% true. I think that uh, everyone should be sent a mail-in ballot. I think that is an awesome program because it makes voting easier. People don't want to take a whole day off of work and stand in line for 8 hours to
Why
cast
do
their
they
vote.
keep saying? Why do they keep saying that all the mail-in ballots always go Democrat? You should have seen CNN
Because
the
Trump
night of
spent
it.
years telling you guys that mail-in ballots are fraudulent and just
No,
and pretty
we
much
got
casting distrust in our democratic system.
Well, that's going to be our downfall, because when we vote early and turn in our numbers early, your side knows exactly what number to come up with. This happened in 2020. You guys, the Democratic Party, have no scruples, just big fat cheaters. And where's the media? Where's the media
The
to
media
investigate?
is
We
mostly
don't.
conservative, by the way. Like 3/4 of all social media conservative. Fucking most of the news outlets, literally all conservative. Fox News, the
ABC,
biggest one, is conservative.
CBS, NPR,
CBS is the,
NBC.
I think it's CBS is about to fucking
Come on,
fall. It's
dude.
about
You've
to
got
tank.
Fox on one side, and then you
Fox
got
is much
everything
bigger.
else on your side.
Fox is so much bigger. OAN, Newsmax, Fox is the biggest, right?
Fox is the only mainstream right wing
They're
outlet.
huge. They're all
Yeah,
over the world.
but you guys have BBC, NPR, ABC, CBS, NBC. I mean, the list goes on and on and on,
Yeah,
and
but
it's nothing but propaganda.
the viewership
It's all
leans right.
propaganda
The viewership leans right. Most people watch right-leaning news.
because they want the truth.
No, because it makes them angry and they get addicted to that.
Mhm. Well, I just think it's really sad that why is it taking them so long to count these votes in California? Everybody else can get it done lickety split. It's because it's all part of the system. This is how they rig the system. I tell you what's going to happen. Even though Spencer Pratt got the highest number of votes, he's not even going to make it to the primary. It's going to be Karen Bass and that ramen chick, and he's going to get
I
pushed
think
out.
that somebody with literally zero political experience running office again is going to be a disaster. I can't believe you guys literally just vote off of personality. It's
What
so
experience
sad.
did she have? She went out of the country. Of course, she didn't know that there was a fire that was going to hit the Palisades. But while she was out of the country, who did she leave in charge? Her lieutenant governor, who was like on house arrest and couldn't even leave his house. I mean, seriously, it's like you
I
think
don't know,
she's all that
but
great?
this guy's
What
going
has
to
she
get
done?
into this guy's going to get into office. He's going to literally know nothing about how anything works. Half of his entire stay, his
Well,
entire
maybe he knows
stint.
that it takes water to put out a fire, and
Oh man, yeah,
that would be something.
I'm sure it's that simple.
It may be the oldest rule in the book, but if it wasn't a good rule, it wouldn't even be in the book. And yeah, water puts out fire,
Oh
and
wow.
the reservoirs were empty. They didn't have any way to put them out. Then she blamed it on global warming, when, as a matter of fact, it was a crazy leftist who started that fire, who was ready to kill all the billionaires. You probably don't
What?
even know. Yeah.
No, what?
Yes, the Palisades fire was started by a human being, a leftist. Now, is it in the daily news? Of course, you don't know anything about it because you're shielded from that kind of stuff. Look it up. Look it up, dude. Who's
Man accused of starting the Pacific Palisades fire.
bing, 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 bing,
Arrested.
bing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she blamed it on global warming. And this is the thing. You guys will blame everything on global warming. It's crazy. It's your religion. I mean,
Stop it, dude. Broke out and say, how do you know he's a leftist? Where does it say he's a leftist?
I read somewhere that he was a leftist. He was inspired by that Mangione guy that you guys put on a pedestal.
Wait,
Remember
aren't you talking about the guy that set the warehouse on fire?
Yeah, not the warehouse. I'm talking about the Palisades fire.
That's the guy who's talking about Mangione.
Okay. Well, I'm getting all the leftists confused. There's so many of you crazy nuts out there that are ready to pick up a torch or whatever. But by the way, the SPLC is back in the news. Apparently, just because you're an SPLC doesn't mean that you can break the law like they did. They're not a law enforcement agency. They don't have the authority to put wires on people or entrap people or whatever the hell they claim that they were doing, when in actuality they were just paying for tiki torches and hoods and subsidizing the whole thing.
I love that this is giving y'all some sort of hope that racism is not real, but $3 million still would not make a dent.
No, it's real. It's real, unfortunately, but it's not the trend that you think. It's not the huge juggernaut
Are you
that's never going to
serious?
go away.
I talk to them every day.
Yeah, I know. I hear a bunch of them call in. They make me sick. But there's plenty of people on the left who are just as racist. Anytime you talk like white privilege, that's a racist term in my view. Because, I mean, we've talked about this before. You guys have all your different types of soft bigotry, telling black people that they're too dumb to get an ID. That's soft bigotry.
No, that's y'all's version of us saying that people requiring ID and doing a poll tax will affect a certain minority group more than everyone else.
How is
which
it
is
a poll
calculated?
tax? It's not a poll tax. Look, Is it a poll tax when I have to put gas in my car and drive to the voting booth to vote? Is that a poll tax?
No, but there's
Because
people that
I'm
will
having
come
to spend
scoop you
money.
up. There's people
I'm
who come
having to
scoop you
spend
up.
money.
We have
I would have to.
programs. We have programs
I,
that will come scoop you up.
yeah, and every state that requires an ID for voting gives free IDs.
That's why I think that we should do all mail-in ballots, right? So that we don't have to use gas.
If they could make the system more secure, but
There's
you know when
nothing that
that
will make it secure enough to protect the conspiracy theorists from thinking the way they do. There's nothing.
Mhm.
There's literally nothing.
Okay. Well, we've seen the cheating firsthand, so
No, you haven't.
you yeah, like I told you, I saw the post office guy being interviewed. Said these things go for between $6 and $10 a pop. There's
Hmm.
23 million of them floating around over there. They're on standby. Whenever they say this is the number we need, that number comes up. All those ballots come up. But you know what? I'm not. There's no way I'm going to convince you of it. I just want to break the ice, let you know this is coming. That way, you're just not totally shocked whenever you start seeing it in the news that the Democrats are just big fat cheaters, and they always have been ever since LBJ.
All
So,
right, man. Well, I appreciate you.
all right, buddy. Hey, did you find my link that I uploaded to your for your Amazon?
No, did you send it in my inbox in my TikTok?
Well, I just put it in the chat. I didn't know. Is there a way to
No.
send something straight to your
Yeah,
inbox?
send me a message in my inbox.
Okay, I'll do that. I got to feed my cat. She's starving.
All
See you,
right.
buddy.
All right. Oh, goodness gracious. Man. Hello, is this a Trump supporter?
Actually, no, bro. I have a little bit of a different view here. Why is America so divided, and why do we keep supporting extreme sides on both sides, Republican and Democrat?
I don't think there's any extremism on the left. We're pretty moderate compared to the rest of the world.
I mean, like, I can get where you're coming from now, but Republicans would say the same thing. Like, both sides are so extreme to the point now. It's to the point where if I say myself I'm a Republican, I'm instantly classified as a MAGA. If I
Yeah.
myself say I'm a liberal or I support the left side more, I'm instantly classified as a far leftist. Why?
That's silly. So the thing is, the right now literally is as far right as you could possibly go with policy. So when we talk about mass deportation, that is as far right as you can go. We talk about gutting taxes for the rich, self-enrichment, doing all sorts of xenophobic rhetoric and stuff. That is very far right. The left in this country is pretty moderate. We don't even have socialized healthcare yet. Like everybody on the left like just wants to feed and house everybody. Everyone on the right can't get along with people with a different race, of a different religion, all of these things. This is
Yeah,
not
I
the
get
same.
that.
We are not extreme on the left, not even close. We are right of people that are in Europe who are liberal. We are right of them.
I guess I can understand where that comes from too, but I just feel like both sides can definitely do that. I mean, I've seen it personally. I mean, you go on social media, you go anywhere, you can see it. Both sides are not in the right whenever they do their job. Both sides will protect their side to the day they die. They'll instantly start a conflict just to prove their side is right. There's no such thing as a moderate like politic talk in America. I mean, obviously you do a great job at it, but there's no way for people to actually debate each other without just literally going fucking berserk.
I think
And
it's
it's a whole big issue.
it's the aftermath of Trump rhetoric. Since 2017, right-wing domestic terrorism has skyrocketed since Trump has picked up a microphone and started calling Obama Kenyan, saying that people are raping and rapists and murderers that come from south of the border. This type of rhetoric, like especially if you repeat it for 10 whole years, creates a division, and people who follow that and have anteed up every step of the way when Trump has increased the volatility or the inflammatory rhetoric, people continue to choose that side. And so now we are spread so far apart. There's no one on the left that has changed so much so that you can say the division is because of the left moving left. There's no person you can talk about, or politician, or president. All of the three last like Democratic presidents pretty much are in line. Like they're not even different from each other. But we go from Bush Jr. to Trump. Trump is so far right it's disgusting. People call him Hitler.
I agree. Maybe not with the Hitler claim, but I agree. He's like extreme far right, and he does shit that probably a president should not do and set an example as for the whole entire nation.
Yeah. But hey,
I just have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
What's your thoughts on the Henry situation over in the UK?
The who?
Henry Novak, I think is his last name. He was a white male who was stabbed by a immigrant in the country, and the police, when they arrived on scene, believed the immigrant of Henry being racist. And instead of helping him, giving him medical aid, he got put in handcuffs and bled to death.
Yeah, I think that's not good. I don't think this is something that should cause a whole wave of anti-immigration like reform. I think it's pretty much policy of the right to take singular incidents and politicize them and put them in the news for 3 years straight, just like Laken Riley, and then try to make a political movement out of it.
Yeah, I get you. All right, man. I just wanted to come on here and have like a talk. I'm not like the biggest political person, you know. I'm always down to hear both sides, but
all right, man.
I
appreciate it. Thank you. Chat, tap the screen. Let's get to 20K really quick. We're almost there. If you want to debate, hop in the box. If you are friendly, please hop out of the box. Yellow.
Hey, this is Earth God. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, is this a Trump supporter?
Kinda. I'll say that. That's the best way I'm gonna put it. Can I still debate though?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm gonna explain the things I do support about Trump and the things I don't support. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna explain the first thing I do support about Trump. The first thing I do support about Trump is how before this war started with Iran, the economy in terms of gas prices were going down. They were on a steady dive. Do certain, if you go through certain like gas, we can talk about gas prices, we can talk about egg prices, we can talk about many prices. Most noticeably was the gas prices. I've seen significant drops of gas from where I personally lived. That was due to good economic control before this war started.
But he didn't really do anything in that regard, right? Like he didn't do anything to contribute to the gas prices falling. Could you tell me something he did?
The Doge, remember? So Doge, and like how he cut prices for government spending, and
Doge cost us more money than it saved.
Can you repeat that?
Doge cost us more money than it saved.
It reduced the IRS federal funding.
That's not good either. For every penny we spend in IRS, or every dollar we spend in the IRS, we get $8 back.
Energy bills, like I could go on. I legit could go on, but like
no, you couldn't. There's literally nothing he's done to make gas prices lower. In fact, everything he's done is increased the deficit and exploded the deficit of this country and created hardship and removed people off of their health care, removed people off of Social Security, moved them off of food stamps, made life harder for just about everybody besides rich people. 95% of the people of the United States paid higher taxes last year because of Trump.
Okay. Well, I need to point out one thing that I believe that this is one thing that I think everyone should support about Trump. His stance on immigration.
I think it's bullshit too. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we got to point out that immigration is a problem in the U.S., and I believe there should be a limit towards it.
How's it a problem? Tell me the problems of it.
We're letting in illegal immigrants. They're not citizens. They're not documented. We don't
What does that
know
entail?
what they
What
did.
is the problem that arises out of that? Go ahead and tell me.
Because we do not know if they committed crimes. I'm not trying to be racist.
Yeah, I
I am
know, but
pointing out.
we have all of the data that shows they don't commit crimes when they're here.
You're basing that on sources through
.gov, CBP,
.gov. Okay, but how accurate are they?
pretty accurate.
I'm just pointing out that like immigration is just something that we need to at least maintain, because we
Sure.
need to have,
But
we need
Trump has politicized the absolute fuck out of it. I like everybody I've asked, they do the same thing. They just blank. They just keep repeating, "It's the law," and I feel like that's where you're going with this. Like, oh, it's the law. We just need to figure it out. And I think this is just like the end game of what Trump has done. 10 years of blabbering about immigration, anti-immigration. And people are like, oh my God, these people are illegal. That's not even like a legal term. Illegal migrant is not a real term. It's a political term. It's not anywhere in our federal documents. It's nowhere in court where they say you're an illegal migrant. That's not a thing.
Okay. I'm just gonna be clear with this because I gotta admit to myself, I haven't did too much in depth of my info. I am actively trying to know more so that way I can give you better sources, give you more things. That's why I've been working on. So I know I may sound like I have no experience with this shit. I have nothing with that shit, but I am working on it. So I just want to let you know because I'm kind of a basic person right now. I don't know much about the political landscape because I'm focused on my
Let me
private
show you
life,
something. This is a I show this every day. This is the list of all of the crimes that happen every year from undocumented migrants. All right, these are by conviction. Criminal alien statistics. This is from cbp.gov. The year that Trump said that all of them are rapists and criminals, some might be good people, there were 11 million undocumented migrants here, and they committed 3 whole murders. 3. The next year, 3. 2, 3. We have 17,000 murders a year. If we dropped 17,000 murders down by 3, what percentage do you think that is, man? It literally does nothing to our crime statistics. It's making us poor. That's it.
Okay. I get it. Just like, I think this is the biggest thing I have to point out about me, why I tend to lean more conservative leaning. Most of the things I am religious. I'm a religious person. I'm a Christian. I have seen liberals, Democrats. I have seen many of them mock Christians and people that I'm a part of, which makes me not want to be a part of that group. It makes me not want to align with their political group, because when I see people who are hating against Christians, I see them as hating against people like us, like myself. So
I think that Christians have pretty much taken over this presidency, and the Heritage Foundation has basically written the playbook for Trump's entire presidency. It's called Project 2025. And in effect, we've seen them gut the government, the federal government of multiple branches, multiple checks and balances. They gave him the tools to do this thing called unitary executive theory, basically where Trump just rules the entire country through executive order and through like punishing certain arms of the government that don't bend to his will by defunding them. I think that people have every right to be upset with Christianity right now, especially when it comes to people like you. I feel like Christianity is a doctrine, and you are basically, for lack of better terms, brainwashed into thinking and requiring some sort of like entity bigger than you, reaffirming your religion and trying to inject that into the country you live in. I think you would rather see that, and you would care less about like the economy and the way that things play out, or how socially divided we are, or how bad we are in relation to all of our allies, how bad our relationship is with all of them. NATO's fractured. You don't care about all that. When it comes down to it, what you're saying is you only care that the government reaffirms your religion. And I think it's gross. I feel like you're like
Not really.
trapped.
No, no, not at all. It's the fact that people, if Democrats say that they're the party of the people, why are they pushing out people who are Christians? It's not our fault that our administration has kind of ruined the Christian reputation, and that is something I'm admitting myself. They have caused a huge amount of hate towards Christians over this administration. I'm
Mhm.
admitting that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't vote for that.
But we should not be the ones being hated for it when it's something we don't have control over.
It's a social contagion that they're trying to use the government to spread. So yeah, I feel like we should, and I do regularly mock Christianity on my channel, and I probably will until they're done oppressing women in this country. But yeah, I think that we should bounce ideas off of each other and say, hey, dude, I think a book that contains literal magic shouldn't dictate your beliefs and like cause you to vote for somebody that's literally just taken control of the entire world economy. I think that's kind of silly.
Yeah, okay, there it is. There's that. But it just doesn't help people who are a diehard Christian. Doesn't help people. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help that group.
James
move
Tallarico
towards left.
is the lead candidate for Senate in Texas. He is a Democrat. Like, we are not pushing out Christians. We're pushing out Christianity from the government. We don't want the government intertwined with any religion.
I'm talking about people who are just. I'm not talking. I don't believe Christians should be a rooted thing in the government. What I believe is the government should respect every religion, and they shouldn't treat it
And you
like
definitely shouldn't be fucking with conservatives. They are proudly, openly pushing against Muslim religions. In Texas, they just shut down like a water park parade that was a Muslim-only event. They're trying to stop the building of mosques in Frisco and in South Texas. They're proudly, the governors and the politicians of these areas and the mayors are using the arms of the government to punish Muslims. I think that's disgusting too. I think it's fucking horrible.
I understand, I do, but again, it's like you're making it sound like you're pushing the blame against us.
It is. It's Christians that hate Muslims so much.
We have always hated each other, and I'm not. Have I
Well,
hated them?
and it's
No,
true,
I have
right?
not hated them. It is true. We have hated them for thousands of years. We have a history of having pure hatred to her. We even had a religion war.
Okay, then you earned that criticism, and I get to criticize most of the Christians on the right for being this way towards Muslims.
So I'm assuming.
Sorry, keep going.
So I'm assuming Christians that are on the left, you're fine with them, but if they're on the right, you have a problem with them.
Yes, the Christians on the left are not trying to like put Christianity in the government. Trump, for instance, he's doing anti-Christian bias task force led by a lady who sells prayers for $1,000 on TV for your own private angel.
Okay. And then the last thing I have to say, this is now okay. I'm just gonna talk about things I don't support. So
Okay.
I can see if you agree or not with this. What I don't support partially is the way ICE is being handled. I believe ICE can be something that is useful, but I don't believe the way it's managed is good. I believe it's heavily mismanaged, and I believe it needs a full restructuring within that entire block.
I kind of agree. I think we could do it with ICE, entirely, and just make a whole new thing and restructure it entirely to where the government or that the president by himself isn't using it like the Gestapo. I think that when we look at the amount of people that he's deporting with ICE that have no criminal conviction whatsoever, it's 70%. And largely, we're seeing protests, we're seeing U.S. citizens die, we're seeing him using this secret police to go around and fuck with cities and ask them to make concessions in voting laws and giving up voter rolls and stuff. I think it's dangerous. I think it's super bad. And if I just read you some statistics about the economy where mass deportation just does nothing but fuck up our economy, you might have a different opinion on it too. Did you know that these mass deportations are going to cause a $370 billion deficit? That's yearly. $370 billion. That could pay for everybody to go to college, everybody gets a free fucking pony, everybody who's homeless gets a free house. That's what that could have done.
Okay, but what confuses me when Democrats criticize Trump with the way he manages immigration, but Obama also deported many people during his administration.
And
But
70% of
they
them
were
were
talking about
criminals. 60% were criminals. Specifically, Trump is 70% non-criminals. Obama said, hey, all those criminals, they got to go. That's it. And he didn't politicize it. He didn't come out and say they're rapists. He didn't come out and say they're poisoning the blood of the country or that they're vermin. He didn't use Hitler and Nazi rhetoric. He did it quietly, and he did it with Congress. He didn't do it with his pen and paper at the Oval Office. He didn't do it so controversially that people rose out in arms and protested in the streets as much as they did today. Like I think that what he's doing is disgusting. We have multiple people committing. I think we're in the like hundreds now of people who've committed suicide in ICE detention. We have like a thing now where we're learning that they're just arresting people who are even trying to obey the law, like that are going in for their court hearings or going in to renew their visas or whatever. They're just getting straight up arrested and added to the group of people that Trump is making money off of deporting.
okay, great. That's good to know that. You know that, I know that, so I think that's a good stance we have with each other. So I think that's good. One thing I do will say before I leave, one thing I also can say I partially support is abortion. I think abortion, like if there's a necessary abortion, someone's over 18 and they just have sex with consent, and they don't really care. They smoke. They're neglectful, and they end up getting pregnant, and they just want to go through they want to go through an abortion just so they can end up having sex again. I don't believe that should be something they should be allowed, because it allows a bit immaturity for your body, because you're just ending up making yourself a person that just keeps having sex and just keeps having abortions. So I believe that should be declined. But when it comes to rape, yes, abortion should be valid, because you don't have control over, you can't, because it shouldn't be your fault that you should have to take care of a baby because you were raped and you have to take care of a baby. That doesn't make sense. So it's
Hell
valid
yeah.
for abortion to happen like that. That's
Listen,
valid.
I would just say that the majority of time people have sex, they're not trying to have kids. I've had sex at least a dozen times, and none of those times was I trying to have a kid. Uh, I think that people should have the right to self-defense, and I think that if given the chance, you would also have an abortion if something was planted inside of you and was going to explode out of one of your orifices at the size of like an 8-pound bowling ball and tear you open. Like I feel like every woman should have the chance to opt out of that and not do free labor and give free resources to another person or agency with pretty much with a gun to their head from the government. Um, I think it's gross. And
Well,
back in the 1970s, 1980s, the church was for abortion. They would help you get an abortion. There's nothing in the Bible that's against abortion. In fact, there's literal text in the Bible for instructions on how to do abortion.
well, I only said that the way it is because the way our country is moving right now, due to multiple sources I have seen, we are moving to a scenario where our country's population is going to begin stagnating, and then
We're in
eventually start
population
declining.
we're in population decline. That's why mass deportation's so dumb.
But it's also exactly why we need more births. It's another reason.
Yeah, but I feel like putting these two ideas together sounds very gross. Like what you're saying is we need more people to be born, so therefore we're going to lock women into pregnancy.
That's not what I said, though.
Yeah, but they were pretty close together.
I'm only well, I'm trying to state. Well, the point I'm trying to say is that if there's someone who is, I'm trying to put this as a good word so that way it doesn't sound anywhere offensive or anything. If someone is just a person that just has this lust, urge to have sex over and over and over and over. Let's say that this person is immature. They have multiple breaks, so they keep having sex with other men, just end up cheating on them, end up cheating over and over and over again. So let's why should they be allowed to have an abortion if they're just messing up their body a little bit more, pretty much?
I think this is
They're
just a
abusing their body.
caricature of somebody that gets abortions. That isn't true. I think that I trust women, and I think that abortions are so expensive that before anything, they would probably just get morning after pills. They would probably do something of that nature. But even with contraception, there's failure rates. 60% of all abortions reported failed contraception in the same month they got pregnant. Like most of these people who get abortions are married women with kids already. It's not really the scenario you think it is. And with the rape exception, it's impossible. It's literally impossible. How do we prove that somebody was raped before they're due to give birth? Because doesn't it take like a year, 2, 10 years to adjudicate rape cases sometimes? It's just not plausible.
I can see your point with that. I can definitely see your point. It's just like I'm just the kind of dude that is very focused on growth, because I even heard some sources that our global population, globally in the world, we're starting to stagnate. Even with immigration, there's going to be other countries that are still going to end up declining, even with some immigration. It's something that I feel like abortion has taken a huge effect on our global growth with our global population.
We
And I
have
feel
like twice as high of infant or the mortality rates for women giving birth in the United States for some reason than most other developed countries. And if you look at it, I think it's like 1,200 women died last year from giving birth. That's more than that's 70, or at least 1,400 times more than the people that die in the military. I think that like being pregnant is far more dangerous than people fighting whatever in the Middle East right now. And I think that you should be able to opt out of that every given moment. You should be able to consent when you're pregnant. I think that 2 minutes in or 9 months in, you should be able to consent, say, hey, no, I want out.
okay, I see your point, and I'm not gonna try to disrespect. I'm not gonna try to sway your opinion like some other MAGA people will do, because I'm a person that's only leaning conservative. I agree with some things on the left side. I agree most things on the right side. So that's just something that I'm probably gonna stick with for a while, especially as I look more into it, so that way I get more knowledge over just politics. So I may have sounded kind of like an idiot a little bit, and that's my fault because I
You're
haven't
good.
did enough of my info. So, but I'm working on it. So
No worries.
it just takes time for me. So,
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about?
no, I think that'll be good.
All right, dude. Well, take it
All
easy.
right,
All right.
all right, you two have the rest of your good day.
You too.
Look, we have to talk about something very serious. This is not a joke. Okay, there's a man. Okay, we call him a man. Do people know what that is anymore? You have so many genders. We call him a man. Okay, his name is James. Have we heard of this guy running for Texas? He's running for Texas. James, we call him James Talafrico. He's got more than 6 genders. They say that his favorite song is "All My Sexes Live in Texas," and that's not good. That's not a good one. He wants abortion on demand and amnesty for all illegals. It's so bad. I don't think we can vote this guy in, do you? If you want 45 genders running around the streets like a cuckoo club, you have to vote for that, because I wouldn't want that personally. I can't even count to 10, and there's 40 genders. It doesn't make sense. I don't think it makes sense, really. Look, you have to do your part in the midterms and vote against me. Vote against God bless you, Renaissance.
Chad, if you're a Trump supporter, you want to debate on the box. All right, the phone line's back on, y'all. W Tanner's in the chat. We love Tanner. Old Tans. Guys, Tanner comes back all the way to my days gaming, streaming as a gamer. Love Tanner. Tanner was my friend before all of this political stuff. Proud to say. Guys, the phone line is on now. We're almost at 30K likes, by the way, y'all. And don't forget to follow the stream if you enjoy my content. We do these debates all the time. Hit the plus button. We did also just wake up, so I'll be kind of stuttering. WHEB rotisserie chicken for my dinner. W's all day, actually. W's all day. There is fewer and fewer MAGA. There's very, very few MAGA around these days, y'all. I've got a really good feeling this next election is going to go swimmingly. First time in San Juan, mi hijo. Still stuck in my head, chat. Capital of Puerto Rico. Guys, if you're calling in on the phone line, you have to be a phone number. You can't block it. You can't block your phone number. Tina knows what's up. It's such a catchy song, dude. Have y'all seen Jennifer Love Hewitt? Gosh. Yes, Jennifer Love Hewitt kills it, dude. She's still so pretty. Pickles has it bad for her? I mean, yeah. It's Jennifer Love Hewitt. I saw her karaoke, her own song at karaoke. What? My claim to fame is that I once saw Keith Buckley of Every Time I Die sing No Diggity at a bar doing at karaoke. And then we stood in line to go pee together. And we held hands and peed. Not really, but I got a picture of him in the line to the bathroom. I met David Cross when I was like 8. That's pretty much it for me. I love David Cross. David Cross is hilarious. David Cross has one of my favorite stand-ups recorded. It's called Shut Up You Fucking Baby. And it's all really good. Who's the most famous person I met? Probably Megan Fox. You don't have God in you? I pray for God to come inside of me every day. Hello, are you a
Yeah,
Trump supporter?
yeah, I voted for Trump.
Ooh, what do you like about Trump?
Uh, I voted for Trump mainly because of immigration.
Okay, why is immigration so important to you?
Um, I just think immigration as a whole is a net negative. I think that what Trump's doing, uh, border control and also ICE, I think that it's overall a net positive.
How is it a net negative?
One of the biggest things to me that I think is that immigration is one of the biggest causes of human trafficking.
So do you think we should do human trafficking ourselves to fix it?
What kind of a question is that? Of course not. I'm against human
That's
trafficking.
that's what we're doing, right?
How so? You're talking about legal
We're
immigration?
we're talking about like scooping people up, chasing them down at birthday parties, chasing them through fucking strawberry fields, tackling them,
It's not human
handcuffing
trafficking.
them, and then
It's
putting them
not
in
human
detention
trafficking.
center. It absolutely is.
That's a weak ass argument. That's a illogical argument. That's not human trafficking. They're getting rounded up and arrested because they're criminals. It's illegal immigration. You
Okay,
want to
so
try
this is
something else?
yeah, so this term, illegal immigration, it's not an
Yeah.
actual legal term. Did you know that?
Yeah, they're not legally coming across the border. There's a legal way to come across. There's a legal process,
I
so
know.
it is an actual term.
So kind of, yes and no. So the law they break when they come across the border is entry without inspection, and it's a $250 fine. It's U.S. Code 08 USC 1148 or 1152, one of the two. It literally just says you can spend 6 months in jail or it's a $250 fine. And the reason is we have these laws, right, to like monitor the border and say, hey, if you don't belong here, you can get out, whatever. But I wanted to like what I want to get down to is how benign this is. Like we obviously can't prosecute every single law all the time to 100% in this country, right? It's cost prohibitive. What
So,
this is
so you,
doing is fucking up our economy. It is really fucking up our economy. And even legally present people here, or even people who have temporary protective access, he's deporting them too.
he's he's not deporting illegal people. You can say the couple things or whatever where someone got sent out and came back.
No, no,
That's
no, no. I'm talking about 500,000 people that he took TPS away from, and he's deporting them.
that are illegal immigrants.
No, they're legally present. They came here
They're not
legally.
legally present. They're not legally
Yes,
present.
they are. What's TPS?
I don't know. You tell me. They're not legally present. They're illegal immigrants. They didn't come over here through the legal fucking
Yes, they
immigration.
did. So, like 2 days before Trump left office, Trump gave Venezuela temporary protective status, the whole country. So, if you were Venezuelan and you came to our door and said, "Hey, I'm Venezuelan," you're allowed right in. They were here
And
under
guess what? There's
TPS
a legal
access.
way to come through. You have to seek asylum, and none of those people came through and seeked asylum a legal way. They
It's
have to
not
let us
true.
know that they're coming through. They do. You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
I don't
Through
think you
TPS,
do. That's
you
not
have no idea
asylum.
what you're talking about
TPS is
through
not
asylum.
asylum. TPS is not asylum.
It's great. Anybody who comes over here, whether they have TPS asylum or whatever, they have a legal process they have to come through.
And
have
they
to
did
claim,
that.
hey, we're fleeing. No, none of these people did. He can give that to Venezuela. That doesn't retroactively cover everybody who came here before he gave that to him. You don't understand what you're talking about.
Bub, I'm talking about the people he gave that TPS status to. He reversed it. He reversed it. So those people
Okay.
were
So
instantly
let's
not legally present
all
because
right,
of him.
let's talk about. All right, let's talk about. So here's the thing: you can say that they legally came over and that they're deporting them. Let's talk about that because, or let's move on because that's literally we can call it a net negative if you say that that it is human trafficking. Moving them out is the same as them coming in. Great. Here's the thing: 300,000 children under the Biden administration alone.
That's actually a lie.
It's not a lie. Look up the Department of Homeland Security .gov and the government hearing on it.
Yeah, let's look it up, all right?
Go ahead, look it up.
And there's a fact check on
We'll start on
this. There's a fact check on
Department
this.
of Homeland
By the way,
Security.
80,000
I
of
don't want
those.
to hear a fact check. I want to look at government sources.
No, so what they do in these hearings is they say politicized things. So we can do a fact check on this.
I don't want to hear a fact check. I want to see sources.
Yeah, okay.
You can look up your CNN fact check or whatever. I want raw sources and data and numbers.
That's not raw. That's not a primary resource either.
The DHS and the Congress.gov hearing, it's all
Correct.
raw sources.
Correct.
Those are raw sources.
So the nature of these people that were missing, by the way, are they're people that were handed over from Department of Homeland Security to sponsors. Yes, and those people, it is voluntary to stay in contact with the government. So that means it's simply just 300,000 missing people that aren't missing. It's not like they're like
yes,
on milk cartons. They're just people that have not made contact with ICE or with DHS.
Well, and here's the thing. Go look up the sponsors, and you can look on DHS where they say, and you can go look at the Congress hearings where they had no vetting for these sponsors, and they also have no vetting for the children who are coming over the borders. They literally do not check social securities, the people who they're coming over the borders with. Go look at the Congress hearing and their border patrol. Literally, there's multiple people who are in border patrol saying that there were children who were coming across the border, drugged up, coming across the border with people who didn't even match their ethnicity or anything, didn't look like a family member. They had addresses written across their arm. It's all in the Congress hearing.
Here's the fact check on it.
Boots on the ground.
Listen, Congress says politicized shit all the time. They don't have to say the truth.
These are Border Patrol agents in the government hearing.
And they can say that too. They can do the same thing. They can all be political. Here's what the truth is. The report noted that 291,000 immigrant children received no court notices at all. It also called on U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement to take immediate action to ensure the safety of unaccompanied children, yada, yada, yada. But migrant children who do not appear before court are considered high risk for trafficking, exploitation, forced labor, the Inspector General's office reported. But this is not something that Biden uniquely did. In fact, half of these people are from the Trump administration, right? The 300,000 number?
What they did is they let people over the border illegally, and that is one of the biggest causes of human trafficking. Like you said, these migrants, and not only just children, they're incredibly susceptible to human trafficking because they're in bad situations. They're coming over here for a reason. They don't make enough money. They're already being exploited. They're in trouble with gangs or stuff. They're coming over a reason, and they're the highest, literally one of the highest class of people that can be exploited, and they do get exploited, and that's why
there's no policy that opened up the border during Biden. Biden had a higher rate at turning people away from the border than Trump. The people who were led across the border, who were encountered, were either put into the immigration system legally, or sent through asylum legally, or kicked out. They didn't just let people who weren't supposed to be here across the border. There were just a bunch of people that came.
They also didn't have ICE. So great. Maybe we're not doing as good of a job against the border, but that's why I voted for him, was because of the border and everything. So you can say that or whatever, but it's still, we're at least doing ICE, which ICE has made a great difference.
We can do two things, right? So there's the border, which would stop people from getting trafficked, but when people are already here and they're living lives, and 70% of them are non-criminal, that Trump is deporting, people who are just here living their lives, they have jobs, they have families. That's who I'm against deporting.
How do you stop people from committing crimes? You have to stop the crimes from happening, and then two, you have to enforce them. So great, I get it. You don't want stuff to happen to people or whatever, but you know what? The only way to prevent immigration and to prevent further human trafficking is to have zero fucking tolerance. And great, you can scare people by, hey, guess what? People
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
You know why people get sent back and deported, and they come back multiple times, because guess what? They're not fucking scared, because they can. That's how it's just set up. So we actually need to enforce it. We need ICE.
That's all border mechanisms, right? So like you said, the border is the most important part there. Mass deportation is not good. It is so bad for our economy. It's insane. And I tell this to every guest. It's going to be adding 300. The $370 billion deficit is what this creates. $370 billion deficit. And by the way, you're so against human trafficking, but Trump is sending these people to labor prisons. He's sending them to fucking third countries, Rwanda, Uganda. What? Why? How is that better? How is that the answer to human trafficking? I don't believe you for half a second.
I'm not saying it's better. I won't say it's better, but it's a deterrent. You got to enforce it.
Doing this to the tune of millions is not better.
Hey, what what deters people from committing crimes? Harsh punishments. And here's the thing: there hasn't been no deterrence. And maybe I don't agree with everything, but here's the thing: I do agree with enforcing the law. And if you, there's so many people who are like, the thing that I hate to see is there's so many people who are like, fuck ICE, fuck the border control, all this shit and whatever, and they actually don't understand that ICE does, and that's my argument. ICE and
ICE does not do anything
stopping
positive for our
immigration.
country. ICE
Okay,
does not do
ICE does
anything.
more positive than harm. It does.
Absolutely not.
It does. Okay. What are your arguments that ICE does more harm than good?
Like I said, the economy. When we do mass deportation, 63% of people's wages will go down. The top 63%
ICE,
will go down. The bottom 30%, their wages also go down. They nosedive. They go up 0.5 and then they go down 1%, and it just keeps nosediving. This is
first of
so
all,
bad for our economy. It's insane.
I don't know the number of people. Do you know how many people have been deported from ICE
I don't know. I'm gonna say a couple million.
this presidency or
This presidency.
what? Okay. Um,
Punishment is also it's a silly
and
thing to say that we're upholding the law and it's a deterrence to not do crime. Trump is the most criminal president we've had in history, and he's pardoned dozens and dozens and dozens of people, some of the highest
all
profile
right,
criminals I've ever heard of.
those 34 felonies is all bullshit. The crimes. No one's ever been charged with that crime except for
It's the
Trump.
most common
Literally,
crime ever.
the attorney who charged him with that crime literally did the same exact
Listen,
fucking
I
thing.
didn't even bring
The
that up,
same exact
but
fucking
you're
thing.
welcome to tell me how guilty and weird you feel about it. There's literally nothing you can point to in that case that is wrong. Every time we try to use the government to
Yeah,
hold one
because
of your politicians accountable, you cry and you're like, "Oh, this is so
they
benign."
changed it from a misdemeanor to a felony. The charges are not
Yes, that is
felony
common
charges,
because
and
there was a predicate crime.
yeah, but they said that it was literally campaign finances, which is absolute bullshit because there's
It was
been
in
so
furtherance of
many other
hiding
things
another
that have been
crime.
accounted for.
It was in furtherance of committing another crime. So, like, if I were to walk into a house and
I
I were
understand
to
the
steal
crime, and
something, if I were to
I
steal
understand what you're saying. We're
something,
not going to agree with. We're not going to agree on
I
this.
know
So we
Trump
can
has
keep
tricked
talking
you,
about. I
and
think it's better to talk about the. My big point why I voted for Trump was immigration. I don't care
yeah,
about.
I
I
think
knew
it's silly.
the felony
So
cases and stuff.
for the what? How many undocumented migrants are here in the United States?
It's I don't know how many.
Something like 13 million.
Okay.
How many were here during Trump before he left?
There's I don't know, maybe less. I don't know. Who
It was
knows?
like 11.5.
Yeah, there's
Trump will tell you there were
literally millions
20.
coming every year.
Trump would tell you that there's literally 20 million extra people here, and those are
So
the people that are
what's your point? I asked you a question. Let's get back to the other question. How is ICE doing more harm than good? I
the
want to talk about
economy.
that.
The economy.
That's your point. Okay, the economy.
Yes.
So ICE is not deporting enough immigrants. That's why I was trying to ask how many people are ICE deporting. I'm sure that there's 13 million people in here or whatever. There's still probably 500,000 to 1 million who come across every year. ICE is not deporting enough people to change the economy.
That's not true. It's not true. So here's the short and skinnies from Penn Wharton. They're an economic college. 4-year policy would increase primary deficits by 270 billion before economic feedback effects, and then 350 billion with economic feedback effects. 10-year policy.
AI?
No, this is Penn Wharton. Penn Wharton.
Okay, it looks like some AI thing. It's
No,
ultimately this is all hypothetical.
Now this is projected. All right, it's not hypothetical. This is based on his
This is
exact policy.
hypothetical.
This is listen. This is going to happen, whether it happens within 5% or give or minus. This is still going to happen. All right, these people are here. They spend money. They create jobs. And not surprisingly, most economic variables fall. By 2034, 4-year policy reduces GDP by 1%. 10-year policy reduces it by 3.3. That is trillions of dollars, dude. Trillions. And it's just because you want to save a few people from being like trafficked, but you're doing trafficking yourself. You're putting these people into concentration camps, and then you're sending them to
We're
third
not.
countries, dude.
So guess what? You guys are the ones who are doing the fucking trafficking. Guess what? We've heard this argument before. Hey, if we get rid of all our slaves, who's gonna grow our cotton and pick our cotton for cheap?
That's
Dude,
not what we're talking about.
Guess what? The US, you don't understand anything about the economy because the US has been purposely stifling our economy and sending out labor to other countries like China and Mexico and European countries
It's
and
called a
everything.
free market,
and
dude.
that has
Yeah.
it's
It's not that we want
not
cheap
called a
labor.
It's called Anglo-Dutch liberalism, and you should look into Anglo-Dutch liberalism. It's all about economics and control. You got to learn about how actual economics work, the bigger picture, the bigger players, because ultimately the U.S. has been allowing other countries to take on production and exploiting the cheaper production, and it has stifled our economy, our industrialization.
That's not true.
Look at the progress that we had in World War II and during the Industrial Revolution and everything. Since then, when we cut off our industrialization, that's when our economy has got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And we've been outsourcing more and more and more. And your whole argument of, great, we need these cheap workers and everything.
It's not that I want cheap workers.
It is what you want. That's what you want.
That's not true.
Who's gonna work and do all these jobs? That's exactly what you want. It's about
That's not
affecting the
true.
economy. You know how to strengthen the economy if you know anything about economics, because I actually work in finance. I'm a licensed financial advisor. If you know anything about finance and the economy, you actually build up the workforce in your industries within your country instead of outsourcing cheap labor and bringing in cheap labor.
Cool, man. So I'm going to make my point. So the reason we send these jobs overseas is because it's cheaper, right? If there were an alternative to not do it cheaper and they try it, they fail, right? Because if we outsource labor to a Chinese factory and they produce a piece of plastic like at a quarter of the cost that an American company would, that American company who is trying to compete with China, they just simply go out of business, right? Like other countries will, or other companies will go, oh, wait, we can just buy it for cheaper. We can buy it for cheaper overseas. So this whole tariff idea, this whole thing, we're going to bring labor back, yada, yada, yada. It's not going to happen. And if you're in finance, you should fucking know this, dude. It's not about just jobs. These people are consumers and they choose to be here. They're not slaves, all right? They choose to be here. They're making 7 times more than they would be at home. They've escaped poverty. They've escaped crime. And what you're doing is you're shoving them back into that situation. It's simply because some sort of law calls them not legally present. When we can look at how much they help our economy, how much they flourish when they're here, they definitely assimilate. The only people who I can't see assimilating are conservatives. They just can't stand the fact that a certain type of crime is being committed. But I don't lay awake at night worrying about everybody who's speeding on the highway, which is 7 times more deadly than people crossing the border.
It's all back to, we need them for our economy and shit and whatever. Great. We didn't need the slaves when we got rid of slaves. And
yeah, but you're talking about freeing slaves who were victims. These people aren't victims. When they come here, they want to be here.
They are victims. They're victims of literally their own country and their own situation, and they have to.
So you want to send them back to that country?
Of course, yeah. Because guess what? The people who
you're like, I feel bad for these people. Let's send them back to poverty and crime.
Because the people who move over here and are in that situation get trafficked and get put into worse situations.
Not all of them, no.
There's not all of them, but enough that I don't think that it's a positive. And if there's the main thing, all these people who are out here who are saying that ICE is bad, fuck ICE and all this shit and whatever, they have no idea how many kids they've saved and literally how many.
Deporting people does not save anybody from kids. No, does it? Deporting people, that the whole process that ICE is involved in does not save anybody.
How many unaccounted kids did they find in Minneapolis during the ICE raids? When you guys were trying to stop them, and literally people got shot, and you guys are worrying about 2 people who got killed. They found 3,364 unaccounted for children. And
Where
great
at?
in Minneapolis, and great. It doesn't matter if they're sponsors who didn't show up for
Okay.
the court or
All
whatever.
right.
Even if a fraction of them are
All
kids who are being
right.
trafficked.
Shut
Okay,
up.
go look up. Okay, go look up. There was go look up the I think it was in Idaho, the marijuana facility that was trafficking kids, using them to fucking cultivate and sell drugs. Look up that. They don't produce a lot of numbers on the actual crimes that happen with with children, so you can't figure out of those 3,364 what all is happening to them. But even if it's a fraction of that, all we got to beat is two fucking dumbasses who are trying to fucking stop them, and the numbers are pretty
Yeah,
easy to beat.
I
of
love
children
how
saved.
this is yeah, I don't think so. Trump, the guy
Yeah,
who's hiding the
you don't have
Epstein
to
files.
think so. Those are the facts.
Trump, who is hiding
Dude, the
the Epstein
Democrats
files.
them. Why didn't the Democrats release them? Why didn't the Democrats?
We can
release
get
them?
past that. We
Why didn't
Ghislaine
we
Maxwell.
can't. Why didn't the Democrats release them?
Ghislaine Maxwell was appealing her case. The seals were under file. They were under.
Oh, so why
they were
didn't they
closed.
release them? If Trump was in it, if it was so bad against Trump, they literally raided Mar-a-Lago. That's
Because
a
they were under
dumbass
seal,
argument.
dude. They were
That's
under
a
seal.
dumb argument.
It's not a dumb argument.
I
It's a
actually
legal argument.
No, I appreciate talking to you, because although I have spoken with other debates, you actually, out of everyone that I've debated, you actually let people talk. You don't talk over people. I know that sometimes I can do that too, but literally, they literally have done more good than harm. You can talk about people who have been killed. You can talk about people who have been, trafficked or whatever, which that equals each other out because they traffic themselves over here. You can say that.
Does not equal each other out. No.
Yeah, they traffic themselves over here. So
like you're making a victim out of people who might pay like $5,000 to the Coyote to get into the United States for a better life. But in your head, every single 100% of these people are drugged and raped and all this stuff. Well, it does happen. I don't think that what you're doing to them is any better. What you're doing to them is worse. You're doubling the trauma.
Well, in your head, every single person who's sent out is not committing a crime by illegally crossing over here.
It's a Class C misdemeanor, dude.
Still a crime.
Dude, okay. There's a thing called prosecutorial discretion, all right? And if it weren't for Trump politicizing this for 10 years, you wouldn't give a flying fuck about this, I promise. But there's people who, I don't know, in Texas, weed is illegal. In fact, the whole United States federally, weed is illegal. Should we spend $370 billion a year to go find everybody who's possession of weed?
No, of course, and that's completely different.
Why not?
Because because what are you gonna do if somebody puts them if somebody smokes weed, you're just gonna fucking put them in jail.
Yeah,
it's different when you're coming across the border into a country that you're not supposed to live in. Guess what? The punishment is that you get fucking deported.
Yeah, I know, and the punishment for having a certain amount of weed is like 10 years in jail, right? You think that's warranted?
Weed is legal, and weed is legal in certain states, so it's not warranted.
No, it's not. Just like a sanctuary city. Just like a sanctuary city.
Guess what? It's legal. No, it's legal by actual state laws.
Yeah, just like sanctuary cities.
Sanctuary cities are not state law.
Well, they have an agreement with law enforcement if they make contact with the government to not.
It's not state law. It's not state law.
Okay,
right.
Sanctuary states.
There's no sanctuary state. You just made that up.
It's the same concept.
You just made
right?
that up to try to get around. You just made it up.
It's the same concept.
It's not, because it doesn't exist. We're talking about facts, the real world. You can't just make it up.
Yes, 17 states are sanctuary states.
Meaning they have sanctuary cities. You can't go to the whole state.
No, the whole state they're considered sanctuary states. Sorry.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, so this is the same thing. If I were to go be president and I hired a secret police force bigger than any military on earth, which is what Trump has done, and spent billions of dollars gathering people up for the most benign crime I could possibly think of, and make stupid little cases about, there are in fact people who are sex trafficked, who traffic drugs, who are just like, if you've seen Euphoria, they fucking do plastic surgery on women and inject like giant amounts of drugs in them and they smuggle them across. It's the same thing. And where every state where they have outlawed weed, it guarantees a black market for, I don't know, like terrorist groups to come and sell that stuff and then also do the things you're crying about.
So let's boil it down. So do you think that allowing illegal immigration, and you can just say immigration and whatever, but I support immigration. I support it the legal way. I'm not against immigration. But do you think that allowing illegal immigration is more important than stopping human trafficking? Because you can't do both. You can't do both.
Yes.
You believe that allowing illegal immigration is more important than stopping human trafficking?
I think that not doing mass deportation, I think that's the equivalent we're talking about. So I believe in a strong border. I think that's fine. I think that triple the presence of border patrol. I don't care. But mass deportation is disgusting. It's horrible. And so those two things are completely separate. Mass deportation does not save anybody from being child sex trafficked or whatever. In fact, mass deportation is in itself trafficking of humans.
We're gonna disagree. We're gonna agree to disagree, but
How
it
is
does
it not?
in fact
How is
because
it not?
it prevents it because again you gotta have you cannot enforce crimes without having a punishment and actually having some sort of deterrence, and it is not deportation it's not human trafficking because guess what? We're sending them out of our countries. We're not sending them somewhere to exploit them for money, for
Yes, we are.
drugs, for
Yes, we are.
no, they're sending them to prisons and they're
Okay,
sending them somewhere else.
one of Trump's top donors is a is a charter plane company and as well as private prison company. So Trump is just making money off of doing this and convincing you it's necessary.
He's not making money off it. The Department of Homeland Security and ICE and Border Control was there well before Trump. It's been there for a long time.
Yeah, I know, but Trump tripled the budget for that.
You already answered my question. I think that I've already got the answer here. Everybody on here heard you say that you think that allowing illegal immigration is more important than stopping human trafficking.
No,
So
I specifically.
You said it. You said
I got you. I got you. I got you.
You said it.
I got you.
So anybody who's listening here, anybody who supports this dumb argument, you guys support human trafficking.
Wouldn't
you guys all
allowing
think that you're so fucking smart, and you guys are a bunch of fucking retards.
You can't say that word, bud. Allowing mass illegal immigration would effectively stop all of that sex trafficking, wouldn't it? It's kind of a dumb line of logic. They wouldn't have to traffic anybody in. They would just be allowed in, right? Mass deportations are human trafficking, period. It's at a larger scale. It's 7 times, infinitely times larger than whatever you could point to happening at the border. These people are unaliving themselves. They're dying. They're fucking starving. They have horrible conditions. They get no medical care. They're shipping teens who are pregnant to a facility in Texas so they don't have to offer abortions. God, dude. Oh, we're looking for more debates, guys. The phone line is back on. If you're trying to call and debate, here is the phone line. Guys, we're not going to mute Larry. It helps with the algorithm when he's in here spamming comments. Yeah, the number's not for show on TikTok, y'all. What's with all the lives beeping today? I have an automatic sensor on my stream software. I bet he does have a copy paste notebook. Chat, does anyone want to come up and lead us in calisthenics? A bunch of people using it now. Larry and David should link up, play dominoes together. They're in every liberal live. Yeah, because we get fucking banned all the time. Oh shit, I forgot to do something. I can't believe people are still falling for the 300,000 missing children thing. TikTok's literally blipping some curse words. Yeah, I know. That's an option I chose when I went live. Where my Talafricas at, chat? I like just instantly aura. Instant aura. There we go. Our viewership shows up on the screen for YouTube now. Love that. Am I still playing Crimson Desert? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Hey, Pickles, how are you doing?
Doing good. What's up, Butch?
Nothing much. We're in the great city of Las Vegas, and go Vegas, Vegas. They're going to win the cup, man. They are going to win the cup.
Hey, that's my bike. Thank you so much for becoming a super fan. Guys, if you want to support my channel, that's the best way to do it, is become a super fan. It's like $10 a month, and you get awesome stickers in chat. If you're a super fan, spam some of the stickers for me. I'm sorry, Botch.
Yeah. Hey, no worries. You always got to go ahead and advocate for yourself. You're putting in the time and the effort, my friend, and you're good for it. I'm the great city of Vegas, so I got to root for the Golden Knights, man. But Carolina has been playing awesome this season, but their luck may run out. But in any case, I just wanted to quickly just point out with Donald Trump stuff here is like, what is going on with the man? The man has he totally lost it? Like, the sleeping is becoming like normal now. Like, well, why even do it? Why even have the press conferences? I mean, I'd get bored too listening to these people, with all the nonsense, but sleeping and dozing off. Like, why is he even subjecting himself to that?
I don't know. I just Googled it. Donald Trump has at least 13 reported or alleged incidents of falling asleep or appearing to doze off on camera through his political career. 13.
And what was this whole thing about the pool and then comparing it with the buildings and all that? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Didn't somebody tell him that? Like, he even said it, he just came up with it, but it's not making any sense, Pickles. Like somebody's gotta point out to him that this is not helping, sir.
Hey, give me a sec. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
All right, Botch, I got a debate that called in on the Google line.
No problem. Deal with them.
All right.
Okay, take care.
I like your big fat glasses, bro. You look so cool.
Thanks, dude. Hey, you've got some stuff, some background noise. Can you help me out with that?
Yeah, I'll help you out. Bend over real quick for me. I'm about to finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you in yet?
Oh, I'm about to be in. I'm about to finish inside you, yeah.
Thank God, dude.
Thank God, dude.
Brian raid. Yo, thank you so much for the raid. Rundle raid? Didn't feel a thing. Yeah, I know. Wild place come in at. Yeah, welcome everybody. Hello, is this a Trump supporter?
It was prior to
I'm
what he's been
sorry.
doing lately.
Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
I was previously, yes.
Oh, and now you're not? Do you want to say something?
I just wanted to ask others, I guess Trump supporters, how they square talking about like wanting to eliminate trafficking, and yet they care so much about kids, but Trump bombed a fucking middle school to start a war, and nobody has any qualms about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Yeah, I think they're hypocrites. They're like, oh no, child trafficking, but only I guess ICE is good guys when they do it. So
Yeah, but also ICE's intention was to get out illegal immigrants, and they've only murdered Americans, publicly at least. I'm confused by that.
yeah, I agree. Well, I appreciate you calling in, dude. I'm gonna try to stick to debates, but W for changing your position. All right.
Sure.
All right, man. Take it easy. Welcome, everybody. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please hit the follow button. We do these debates almost every day. If you are a Trump supporter and want to debate, you're welcome to call this number on the screen or hop into the box to debate. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Both suck. They are Zionist pigs. Both sides suck. Democrats and Republicans suck. They're both Zionist pigs. They stick up to genocide and they love Israel.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that you're seeing a lot of like all of the hand holding mostly on the right now with Israel. They absolutely do fund through AIPAC and other PACs, politicians on both sides. But I think that you're seeing like a huge divide with the left. Jasmine Crockett was somebody who couldn't denounce Israel. She lost her primary. James Tallarico, not AIPAC funded, won his primary. Looks like he might lead the Senate race in Texas. I think there's a stark difference, and I think that every single time we've had a president where Netanyahu, since like 1950, has tried to pressure them to go and invade Iran, the only person who's fallen for it is Trump, and it's because he has such a personal relationship with him. And same thing with his son or son-in-law, Jared Kushner. I don't think that everybody else acts on behalf of Israel like Trump does.
All right. So you're saying, so Kamala Harris didn't act behind Israel. She didn't take money from AIPAC and she didn't denounce the genocide and going on in Gaza. So you're telling me hold on, wait. So you're telling me Kamala Harris didn't have a correct answer to answer about a question about the genocide and going on in Gaza? You're saying that Netanyahu doesn't have like lapdogs in the Democratic Party?
I would say that he does, but I would say that Kamala, for instance, didn't even show up for Congress when Netanyahu came last. She kind of snubbed them. She's also notorious. Her and Joe Biden stopped bombs, large offensive bombs, from going to Netanyahu after we saw what kind of genocide he was doing, and then we asked him for plans to show that he's not doing indiscriminate bombing, and they were also sending aid to Palestine. Trump, for instance, though, he loves pushing the anti-Muslim rhetoric. The right pushes anti-Muslim rhetoric so that you side with him. The left would never do that.
Not true. The left has done that before. Both sides done it.
When have we pushed anti-Muslim rhetoric?
Yeah, Bill Clinton, Obama.
What did he say?
Bill Clinton invaded when he invaded Iraq, or he took out Kuwait. He despicably said that all the Muslims in there are dogs. He said that before in a quote. Bill Clinton actually was the one that went in and started with Kuwait. But also, if you want to put it from that, George Bush, he's a Republican too. He was the one that went in there, took out all those, but he also destabilized the Middle East. But I would say that AIPAC has a big influence in our political system, and we should have political opinions, or not political opinions, but political opponents that don't have fluent influence with AIPAC, like Thomas Massey or like James Crockett or anything like that.
Hold on, Jasmine Crockett. I don't see anything about Bill Clinton calling them dogs.
It was on a TikTok. I can send it to you if you want me to. I gotta have it on TikTok.
Sure.
Okay. But also, if you want to put it to perspective, Bill Clinton also doubled down on Israel's genocidal war, by the way. There's a whole video of it.
Okay. So I don't think that's the left's position anymore. I think we've come a long way since Clinton, man.
Yeah. Well, Bill Clinton's on the Democratic side. He's liberal. And also, if you want to put it from
He's
that,
not very liberal, honestly. If we're being honest, dude, Bill Clinton's a conservative.
I don't think so. I don't really think he's a conservative. If anything, he's probably
He's like
liberal.
what conservatives promise they are. Like he balanced the budget. He kept peace. In small government. Like I would say that he is literally what Republicans lie about and say who they are.
All right. Well, do you believe that that Jasmine Crockett? Do you believe Kamala was a Zionist though?
No.
Okay. Do you know what Zionism is or Zionist?
As people who believe that Israel is some sort of holy land and they believe in the right to have some sort of ethno-state and the greater Israel project.
It's not what a Zionist is. Okay, so I'll just tell you what a Zionist is. A Zionist is someone who is something or an ideology. It was a Jewish national ideology that acknowledges the state of Israel or state of existence of Israel, and it's a Jewish supremacist state. Kamala Harris has previously acknowledged that Israel has the right to exist as a Jewish state, but she doubled down on the fact that because her influence was gaining because of left supporters that acknowledged there's a genocide going on in Gaza. Kamala Harris also doesn't acknowledge there's a genocide going on. Multiple interviews with 60 Minutes double down on the question of the genocide. But if you want to put it this way, majority actually, this is crazy. The comments are supporting genocide, but Donald Trump is a genocidal maniac as well. I hate both parties, and I believe we should have a equal party with no influence in our government that doesn't have any money, and also no like politicians that are just all that.
So it says that her campaign rejected that characterization of a genocide. However, she's acknowledged the severity of the humanitarian crisis and the validity of protesters' anguish regarding the massive loss of Palestinian life. Trump calls them straight up. He calls the left, the entirety of the left, fucking terrorists and Hamas backers.
Okay, and I said that both parties suck, including Trump. So you think I support Trump because of this?
Now, I think that if you were familiar with how politics work here in the United States, the two-party system is a long way away from having change. And if you want to choose the side who is going to show sympathy and show a steady hand and not do the insane shit Trump is doing, you easily could just choose the left.
I'm not. I don't want to support genocidal maniacs that are taking money from just AIPAC and taking money from foreign interests and foreign PACs. I'm not taking any of that chance. Honestly, my vote matters. Plus, if you want to go from that, the Democratic Party, like Kamala Harris, didn't even give reparations. She wouldn't even acknowledge reparations for Black people like me. So why would I support that?
You know how much of a majority we'd have to do reparations?
So you don't. Okay, so you don't support reparations?
I do.
Okay, so so if you support reparations, why did you support a candidate that doesn't support reparations for Black people like me, or Black people entirely?
We didn't have very many options, man.
What do you mean you didn't have very much options?
Who do we get to choose from between Kamala and
Well,
Trump?
Kamala was forced into the primary for the Democratic Party. You could have choose something different before Biden is, but Trump was just put in there because he was voted in the primary for the RNC.
Yeah, the left followed every law. They followed all of the instructions. I think private primaries for private party can be ran however they want. If you wanted to start your own party and rise to candidacy at the very last minute without any real process, that's totally legal.
I guess, but nobody's gonna agree with my party because they're all gonna just say that I'm a lapdog for Israel or not Israel. I'm a lapdog for like Putin or something like that or anything like that. But yeah, Trump hasn't mentioned. Okay, why is this Leah person? Trump hasn't mentioned reparations for anybody. She doesn't even support it.
Yeah, I think there's one side that at least does well with the economy, and there's another side that just fucks up the economy generationally. Like has fucked
but both
it up.
sides. But both sides can't figure out how to lower the debt.
Yeah, they can.
Okay, then why did the debt rise during Biden's term as well,
There's
or
a difference between
Obama?
debt and deficit. So reducing the debt is a whole nother monster than reducing the deficit. Biden definitely reduced the deficit, and to reduce the debt, the deficit would have to go positive.
Okay. Okay. Do you support sending aid to Israel or supporting like aid
No.
to Ukraine, anything like that?
I support Ukraine. I don't support Israel.
Okay. Do you know Ukraine? You know Ukraine was like one of the most corrupt nations in the world, right? You know Ukraine's one of those corrupt nations.
Yeah, I know. And then we did a coup. We got the Russian government puppets out, and Zelensky, ever since, has seemingly been a good actor, right?
Okay. Do you still support Zelensky's fight against Russia?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know Zelensky is forcing this war just so he can make money?
Okay, how so?
Yeah, he's forcing this war because Putin has came to the negotiating table multiple times to try to end this war because the war in Russia is dragging down the people. But the people still support Putin for some odd reason. I don't know how. But if you want to put it this way, Putin is trying to end this war with Ukraine.
That's a lie.
So
That's a lie. So
Really?
Putin has put out some insane conditions to the stop of the war, including trying to take land from Ukraine. And I think a good leader would say absolutely not. Like, so if Mexico came and got a part of Texas, how much of Texas would you be willing to give up to get peace with Mexico?
Okay. You said what?
If Mexico came and invaded Texas and took a portion of Texas, and if they said that they would leave, if we gave them a piece of Texas, how much of Texas would you be willing to give up?
It's totally irrelevant to the argument.
This is
Just I have a-
perfectly parallel to what Zelensky's position is in Ukraine. He does not want to give up 1 inch of land.
Do you know why?
Yeah, because it's theirs. It's a sovereign nation.
It's not true because they were violating rights of those people in the Donbass region. You know the reason why?
That's
You know
Putin propaganda, by the way.
it's not. It's
It
not.
is. Putin has
Okay,
paid
so
for Russian separatists in the Donbass region. He has been trying to get them to pretty much coup themselves and annex themselves into Russia.
okay. Do you know the voting area in like the Ukraine area? You know the voting areas over there.
I'm assuming they have some.
Okay. Do you know that in that area, majority of the people voted against Zelensky and voted for like a pro-Russian area, right? Because the fact that the Ukrainians went in there and violated these people's rights because they were
Because
pro-Russian.
Putin has started a pro-Russian movement there. He started it. All right?
Okay. And do you know why he started the pro-Russian movement?
Yeah,
though,
because he
right?
wants part of Ukraine, dude.
It's not true because NATO was putting their stuff on their border.
That's
Hey,
bullshit
Nat, why do
too.
you gotta lie? Why do you gotta lie?
Yeah, who are you?
You can see my name.
Yeah, I don't know who you
Why
are.
do you
I'm
gotta lie?
talking
Answer
to-
the question.
Yeah, what am I
Answer
lying
the
about?
question. Why do you gotta
What
lie?
am I lying about?
Well, for starters, the fact that Zelensky never met at the table with the Russian envoys. He absolutely did. All 3 times. He
Okay,
was
then-
there.
Okay, and did he
He was
reject
there.
it before?
Again, like Pickles said, his hard line was he wouldn't give up an inch of land. And
Okay.
Putin's hard line was he wanted land.
Okay.
So they couldn't meet in the middle. Do you understand how that works?
Yeah.
So
they
no,
couldn't-
he was there. The Ukrainians went to the table.
And hasn't
Okay.
By the way,
Zelensky given up
the
some of his
dissenters in
personal
Donbass-
wealth?
Oh yeah, tons of it.
Yeah.
How much is this
Tons of
wealth?
it. He's given up a ton of his personal wealth to the war effort. Now, when you're talking about those dissenters that were in the Donbass region, you realize the vast majority of those dissenters were Russian nationals that were sent there, right?
Okay. You said they're Russian nationals, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
They
why did
actually
the
got caught doing it. It was part of the reason.
Okay. You said they got caught. Do you have a source for anything like that? Do you have like anything for it?
Oh God, yeah, it was back when the coup happened. That was part of it. That was part of the reason the coup happened.
That's not a source.
It was because he was sending dissenters into the Donbass region, which, by the way, he was literally bombing almost the entire time that Trump was in office the first time. So it wasn't like nothing was going on there. So if they're Russian dissenters, if all the Donbass citizens, the actual citizens of Ukraine, wanted to leave and go to Russia, for starters, they can go to Russia. The border's right there. They could have left anytime they wanted to. The land belonged to Ukraine, kind of like the example Pickles gave. If all of a sudden everybody in Texas decides, you know what, we want to be a part of Mexico, guess what? Move to fucking Mexico. Texas, the land, is sovereign to the United States.
Okay,
That's how that works. They don't have a right to take the land with them.
Originally,
they want to leave, they can leave.
It originally was Mexican, so I wouldn't say.
And is it now?
Well, yeah, because we illegally stole Texas.
Did Mexico exist as a nation before that?
Did Mexico? What?
Yeah, did Mexico exist as a nation? Did it have a centralized government and was a sovereign nation?
Before, what do you mean before, the United States?
Before we
Texas?
took it. Before we took it.
Yeah, it was an empire. What are you talking about? The Mexican Empire?
It was multiple tribes. It was multiple empires.
It's not true. Okay, so go ahead and
It's absolutely true. You're just fucking ignorant to history.
Okay,
and you're
go
ignorant
ahead
to
and
facts. I've already proven that with several other statements.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead and prove to me the Mexican Empire was different in other states. Go ahead and tell me.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here.
I think we're splitting hairs on something weird here, but I think it still stands that if Mexico did that to us, would you be willing to give up some of Texas because of what you said? It was theirs originally, right? Do you think we should give it up?
If originally, I don't really think it's synonymous to the arguments.
It's literally the most parallel thing I could ever imagine. This is really parallel.
Oh, did he run?
I think so.
I'm sorry, man. I cannot stand it when people come up here and put up Ukrainian misinformation.
I can't stand it either, dude. It's wild. I think that most of what these people espouse is either Israeli disinformation or Russian disinformation.
Right. You know, he's back in the request. I'm going to let him back up.
Yeah, I'm back. I just accidentally swiped. I don't know how I did that. But yeah, no, I actually swiped. So yeah, okay, so go ahead and tell me how the Mexican Empire was different empires. Because you made
the Mexican Empire was originally up until 1521, it was partially the Aztec Empire. A couple of smaller empires around it, and then from 1521 to 1821, it was taken over by the Viceroyalty of New Spain, which was heavily governed by Madrid.
Okay.
So it wasn't a centralized government, it was just an area that was taken.
Okay, and do you know
up until 1821?
Okay, and the Spaniards left Mexico during that time, right? Before even the U.S. came over there?
No, they stayed. That's why they speak Spanish.
Oh,
you know that, right?
Oh my God. Okay.
You know that, right?
Not how it goes. Okay, so do you know Spain lost all their colonies in America, right? Due to independent movements, due to Portugal?
Well, yeah, just like the UK lost all of their colonies in the United States.
Okay, yeah, but the UK was in the 50s. I'm talking about Mexico. So in Mexico, right? Mexico got independence before the U.S. took Texas. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I knew that the New Spain did, yes.
Okay, was the Mexicans under Spaniard influence or Spaniard governance during that time, or were they an independent country?
Influence, but not entirely under their governance. The governance was just in the colonies that they had. There were still several areas, and I'm just reading it right here. There were several areas that were still highly contended.
Okay, but were they an independent country?
No, again, they were an independent kingdom.
Oh,
but they weren't an independent country. They didn't have centralized government.
Okay, so they weren't. Okay, so they were a kingdom, but they didn't have a centralized government. Okay.
Mexico achieved independence from Spain in 1821.
Okay, and when did the U.S. took Texas?
Let's see. When did we take Texas? That was what? God, it was before that. Texas.
Because first,
let's see, 1845.
Oh,
1845.
And Mexico was a sovereign state before then, right?
But that was when we took most of the land. And again, the area north, it'd be roughly where we'd call the U.S.-Mexico border now, was not a part of their centralized government. And if you look, there's not a lot of towns there. There's not a lot of big areas. Most of the big areas, like, oh God, what's the hell that one big city right there on the border? Juarez. Most of those places got big after there was a border there.
And
So
by
it
the
was
way,
central.
you know,
They were
you
mostly
know,
central around Mexico City.
Texas, and Texas was gained independence, or they separated from Mexico before then, and they were an independent country before the U.S. took it, right?
Yes, I did know that.
Okay, and technically, the U.S.
So again, were they centrally under the governance of Mexico when they became a state?
You said what?
Which was what was it? This was what was contended the entire time, was that area under the Mexican government when it became a state, when it became U.S. territory.
No,
Did
it
we
was
take
not.
that from Mexico?
No, it was not. We took
Which
it
is
to
exactly
independent
what you
country.
said, and you were wrong. So just deal with being wrong, take the L, learn from your mistakes, and move on. What's the next topic you want to talk about?
Hold on a second. So you said.
Oh, hold on a second. Let's rewind so I can reword what I said.
No,
Because I don't want to be wrong, because I can't be wrong.
Okay, so now you're throwing ad homs. All right, cool. So.
No. I'm throwing out observations. An ad hom would be something unrelated to anything that I've seen or experienced from you.
Okay, so you're just
You don't know what an
mocking
ad hom
me.
is. An ad hom has nothing to do with the conversation. An ad hom is an insult that I hurl at you because I have no argument. I'm just throwing an observation of what you're actually doing right now back at you, which is a part of the discussion we're having. So it's not an ad hom. It's simply an observation, kind of a call out, but it is by no means an ad hom.
Okay.
Next topic.
Right. Okay, whatever.
Come on, bud. Keep them coming.
Next topic. Okay. Do you believe both parties suck, or or one's better?
Liberals are definitely better.
I believe
Democrats
one's far better than the other.
I think Democrats
Okay.
are like, without a doubt, when you just look at the economy, 700 times better. It's like not. It's if you had no information about either party and you just looked at the economy and how each of them perform over the last 60, 80 years, you would never ever choose Republicans ever. And your qualms come down to the personality things that like Kamala had or that her campaign had, or some things that she didn't do up to par for your standards. I think that's silly. That doesn't make her just as bad as Trump. Not even close.
Okay. What about foreign policy?
700 times better. Obama with the Iran nuclear deal, the JCPOA. It is literally the starkest difference in what Trump is doing right now. It is
Okay.
black and white.
Okay, so why? Okay, so if you say the Democrats' foreign policy is better than the Republicans, then why did, under Biden's administration, why did Israel? Okay, so look at this guy. All right, so why did Israel attack Gaza, or why did Israel let Hamas attack them, if they knew that they were going to attack them? Because the Israelis had more information. The Israelis had the information that Hamas was going to attack them before.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Israel literally has given millions to Hamas in 2019. So I'd almost say that they generated that.
Okay, so why did the U.S. let this? Why did the U.S. let them still carry out this attack? Why did
Let
the
them?
foreign?
Why did
Yeah, and
their
also-
inaction happen?
You said what?
So an inaction is the biggest qualm you have?
An action? What can
Like,
you-
I'm sorry, a non-action? Something that they didn't do for Israel?
What do you mean? The U.S. didn't fund the Israeli funding for Hamas? You mean the CIA didn't pour money into the Mossad so the Mossad can fund Hamas? Are you
The
serious?
CIA doesn't fund Mossad.
They fund money to Hamas. Okay, yeah, you're not real. So yeah, the CIA, the CIA and the Mossad work together, right?
Not really. They kind of do, but they hate each other.
It's not true. Well, yeah,
It's 100% true.
Well, yeah, the Mossad had ties in 9/11. I would say that, but yeah, but I would say that the CIA does fund some of Mossad's operations, like Hamas. So the Mossad had foreign footprints in the Gaza Strip when Hamas, right?
I don't know what you're saying. First of all, the CIA is like an agency in the government that is very problematic, and they outlive most of our presidents. So, like the head of the CIA, he'll see 3 or 4 presidents before he's retired, and they have their own agenda. They almost like use the each president as a puppet to do what they want. The CIA is a whole different problem. But who is more likely to fall for the bullshit? Trump or Kamala? I think Trump.
No, I think both.
I think Kamala is far smarter, easily.
And
She had
what's
way more integrity, had way more respect for herself than Trump. Trump, who's got so much baggage, so much dirt that he could be leveraged. He is a national security risk because he has so much shit that they could use against him that he's pretty much just stuck doing what they want.
Okay. Under foreign policy for Democratic rule, you said that it's the best foreign policy, or they have the best foreign policy. In which sense their foreign policy is best?
So out of the two, we can just use Trump, for instance. Trump has fractured NATO. Every single one of our allies hates us now, just about. He's put tariffs on the whole world and fucked up all of their economies with the Strait of Hormuz being closed. He has called multiple other countries' names. He's made cuts to USAID, and now we see the spread of Ebola. We see the spread of AIDS. 14 million people will die by 2030 because of Trump's actions abroad. Kamala would have easily not done any of that.
Okay. So do you believe Kamala would have ended the Ukraine war? Or I don't think
I think she
Republicans
would
are
have
gonna end
funded it.
either.
Yeah, I think it would. So Trump has breathed life back into the Russian economy, and Trump seems to be pretty good friends with Putin. Putin at least maybe has something on him, but Trump is not harsh on Putin whatsoever. He's never even said a bad word about Putin. He calls him smart and brilliant and a genius. He's rolled out a red carpet for Putin.
Okay. Okay, so you said
Well, I
Democrats
mean,
have a better
if you're really that much against the whole thing in Gaza, I mean, it was the Biden-Harris administration that threatened to withhold offensive weaponry from Israel.
That's because Democrats in the House and the Senate were going against the Biden administration's act to fund them, like Bernie Sanders.
And
That's
now
why.
we see that Republicans don't do that. Republicans are so
Because
tight
Republicans
knit.
love Israel.
And no, if you don't like Israel, you get primaried like Massey.
Yeah,
Openly,
no crap.
with the help of the president. With the
a lot
help
of the Israeli funding, is actually legally bound to send. We would have to change federal law in order to not send it. You know that, right?
You said what?
A lot of the funding that goes from the United States to Israel is legislated. It's federal law. They would have to change federal law in order to stop that funding.
It's federal law to send money to a foreign country when we are starving up. I got misinformation. It's crazy.
It's not crazy. When you come here carrying water for Putin, it's probably misinformation.
And I'd just like to point out that with all the facts that I started throwing out, I don't have that flag, buddy.
Yeah. Yep. How you doing, Infectious? I saw you sent me the tracking number. I'm excited.
Yes. It's nothing overly special. It's nothing overly special or extravagant or anything. It's just something fun. It's just something fun that I figured you, of all people that I know, would appreciate it.
Okay. Hey.
There's a note in there that kind of explains it when you get it. Do me a favor, though. Unbox that fucker on live and make sure I'm here.
Okay.
All right. Deal?
All right. I can do that.
All right, man. I'll let you get back to the debates, man. I'll hop down.
All right, bub. Catch you later.
Later, brother.
Chat, how are we doing? Thank you guys for the 60K likes. Let's try to push to 100K. Let's get these numbers up, baby. Can I see the helmet? Yes. Yes. Oh my god, big shout out to Zilla who bought me this helmet for my scooter. Check this out. Look at that. Oh shit. W Zilla's in the chat all day, every day. This is not a cheap helmet. It's got a little charging port right here. It's nice. It's very light. But yeah, now I'm safe. Now I'm safe at night when I ride my scooter. There is a thing I can get separately that will give me like a turn signal function on this thing so that you can see the turn signal in my head. So awesome. Did it come with life insurance? I wish. Does it fit well? Yes. It fits perfect. I tried it on.
All right.
Hello.
Kick me. Go ahead.
You
They
can't
already
start
paid you.
every conversation with this.
They're
You
gonna
can't-
pay you. That's what they do.
Yeah, I know.
They do it
because-
every time.
Dude, we would actually have something of substance to talk about if you didn't start every conversation with this.
That's cap. because I've tried to, and then at 2 minutes I'm cut off. You kick me, and it's like it's stupid.
Do you think that says something about you?
I love that the left hates me. It says a lot about me. I love it. You guys don't hate me enough.
Okay.
I need every one of you that have me blocked. Every one of you should have me blocked.
Yeah. Well, maybe don't be homophobic and misogynist.
But I'm disgusted by those like groups. Like how when I see it, I'm grossed out. What am I supposed to do about that? Like
That's
when I see
something
pedophiles, I'm grossed out.
that's a way you learned how to be. You need to unlearn it.
No, since a kid, I've found that disgusting. Like I didn't learn to. My parents didn't teach me. Oh, being a homosexual is wrong.
No, your Bible did.
No, I didn't grow up as a Christian.
Well, still, I think that
That's still. It's just like a natural reaction that I have when I see it. It's gross.
well,
So what
that's
am I
on you,
supposed
man.
to do about that?
That's on you. It's a character flaw.
It's not a character flaw. Like
It
when I see
absolutely
a
is.
how.
Because you have adverse reactions to people and things that exist in reality and that you cannot change, that will never change, and you need to find
Okay.
peace around it. You need to pray about it.
But it's two adults in a consensual relationship that I find to be gross. Is that a problem?
No, I think you're gross, and any relationship you get into is gross, but I'm not going to go around
Okay.
and protesting it.
So what if you saw two adult men that were brothers that got married? Would you feel grossed out by that?
I guess.
Okay, so same thing with me seeing two adult men that aren't brothers getting married. So why is it okay for you to feel grossed out?
Because the power dynamic in two brothers getting married seems troubling and most definitely is not something that occurs naturally.
Yeah, it does. There's incest in a lot of different species in nature.
Yeah, they don't get married, though.
Yeah, human beings are the only ones that get married. But them being in a relationship at all as human beings is wrong. Married or not. Two brothers should not be allowed to date. And neither should,
I don't know. Again, I think it's such a nothing burger that even if incest does happen between brothers and sisters or brothers and brothers, I feel like I don't need to go around and make it my personality. If I met a couple and I knew them for a year and then I found out that they were related, I might feel some sort of way about it, but I feel like it would also maybe deconstruct some of the preconceived notions that I had about that.
Okay, but with LGBT couples, if I'm out at dinner and one of my friends brings an whatever, it doesn't matter which one that they are, which has happened before, I'm respectful to them. I don't tell them my opinions. That'd be weird.
Yeah, but your whole internet personality with hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram spewing disgusting shit.
I don't talk about gay people. I talk about it in debates because you guys literally host a debate and say, why don't you agree with the LGBT? Okay, now you're going to get my opinion. But I don't go to random gay couples and whatever and say, well, I don't agree with you.
You do
That would be
inadvertently.
crazy.
You do it right now, right here. You're doing it.
Because this is a debate channel and you called me homophobic. If that gay couple called me homophobic, then I would tell them my opinion.
I called you homophobic because when I said that you're homophobic, you say W.
Yeah, W.
So I know you're proud of it.
Because God's homophobic too. And I'm a Christian.
But he makes gay people.
No, he doesn't make them gay.
He does.
No. Are you a trans man?
No.
What's the difference between you and a trans man then?
One's born female.
Oh, so the sex is the only difference.
Probably.
Great. Agreed. That's the difference between men and trans men, is sex. You just pissed off a lot of people, though. You're gonna hear
I
about
probably
that
pissed
later.
off a total of 0 people, actually.
They're going to tell you that that's wrong and that that's a transphobic thing, and you're going to hear
No, they're
about it
not.
later.
How is that transphobic?
Because they say gender and sex are different things. But
Exactly.
You just, yeah, but you just said that the difference between trans men and men is sex.
Yes, they will tell you that too.
Yeah, okay. But if gender and sex are two different things, then you're saying that you don't have to be, how do I put this? That sex is not part of the definition of gender.
Correct.
Right. So then what's the difference
I'm not
between a man
defining
and a
their
woman?
gender. I'm not defining their gender. I'm defining them as a whole. So I'm saying a trans man is in fact most of the time a female presenting as a gender that is a man. So they will tell you all day that they're female. They will tell you all day without any qualms. They wouldn't be ashamed of it. Most of them will just straight up tell you, yes, I'm female.
All right, that's fine. The thing is, they can live their life like that, but they're gonna tell me that I have to affirm them that they are a man, and I'm not gonna do that.
We have
'Cause I
to
don't believe
affirm
it.
that you're some sort of Christian, and we all
No,
know
you
that's
don't.
not true.
No, you don't though. See, that's the thing. You can just like I can respect their self-belief. I don't have to affirm them that it's true. You can respect that I believe in God, but you don't have to affirm that it's true.
Dude, we have to deal with it at a far higher level than you do trans people.
What do you mean deal with it? We don't force you to affirm us that Christ is
Yes,
God.
you do. You fucking knock on my door. I catch you on Walmart. You tell me you're gonna fucking pray for me. You guys you're pushing this shit to my children in the classrooms. You're pushing. Yes, you are. The Ten Commandments are in
No,
Texas
Mormons are the
classrooms.
ones. Mormons and Jehovah Witness, which are two cults, and they are cults. They have their own scripture outside of the Bible. Most Protestants, most
No,
Christians
they're
are
just
not going to go knocking at your door.
fundamentalists. Like evangelicals.
No,
They're
Mormons
just,
literally no.
I know.
That's
I
not
know
true.
Mormons don't. I know Mormons have their own separate literature, but I'm talking about evangelicals, televangelists, all of the shit that Trump's espousing, and the head of his anti-Christian bias platform.
Yeah, they don't go knocking on doors.
Yeah, but they buy space on TV channels. They do all
Okay.
of the shit that you cry about constantly. When you see a trans person in a movie or a TV show, you guys cry constantly. But we have all of the Christian shit everywhere plastered inside of our media.
There's Christian stuff in society because we're a Christian nation. Of course, we've always been Christian. Most of the society, 90+% has been Christian for like hundreds of years. Of course, that's why you see Christmas trees everywhere and all that. 'Cause we're a
Trans people
Christian
existed
country.
longer than Christianity.
Okay, if that's what you believe, but
It's
the thing
literal
is,
truth,
we don't.
isn't it?
But they say if you don't affirm my pronouns, then you're a hateful bigot, and they'll try to get you in trouble at your job. They'll try to get the employer fined. They will do things to hurt your
Mm-hmm.
career if you don't affirm them.
And if I say Christians are pieces of shit, yada yada yada, y'all would do the same thing, right? You
No,
guys
we
do
wouldn't.
the same thing.
And no. Look what you just did. All I said is we don't want to have to affirm that it's true. We're not calling trans people pieces of shit. You just said calling Christians pieces of shit like it's the same thing as not affirming a trans person of their gender. Why did you do that?
I'll give you that one. I'd say a parallel would be
Saying
Christians.
that Christ is not God.
You guys
That's the
saying that this is
parallel.
a Christian nation, even though our founding fathers escaped the church and wanted freedom of religion and freedom from taxes and shit. That's why. And you guys are trying to bring this back up as if they meant for this to be a Christian nation.
No, that's not a parallel. The parallel would say that I don't affirm you that Christ is God. Like, okay, I'm not going to try to get you fired from your job because you don't affirm us that Christ is God.
Okay, but the thing is, when you guys don't when you guys intentionally bash trans people and misuse pronouns, misgender them constantly on purpose, that causes a type of distress and bullying that results in them unaliving themselves.
Wow. So because I genuinely don't believe a male can identify as a woman, and I'm not going to call him a woman, if this person unalives themselves, it's because I bullied them to do that.
Yes, if you're trying to
Wow.
say things to them and put them in distress, yes.
No, I'm not trying to. They're telling me, call me a woman, call me she, her. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that.
All right,
No,
well,
because
that's
I
just
don't
you. That's
believe
just
you.
a personal hang up on you, dude.
No, you just said that I have blood on my hands for not affirming them of their gender.
Yes, because we have science to show us that when these people are in distress and they have gender dysphoria, that is one of the results. If
I
there were
have to-
one
but I don't believe it,
Christian
though.
kid, if I had one Christian kid in a school and the whole rest of the school is, I don't know, Muslim or just not religious at all, and they made
Right.
fun of that Christian kid all day for thinking Jesus is real and that skydiving is real and that magic's real, do you think that kid would kill himself, and would you blame those people who picked on him?
No, I don't think that kid would unalive himself because he doesn't have a mental illness.
No, they absolutely would. Bullying results in unaliving yourself.
Wait,
It
you're
doesn't matter
telling me that
if
if
it's
you
trans
tell a-
people or just fat kids or whatever.
Wait, telling the kid that Christ is not God is not bullying him. It's just
No,
not
I'm saying
affirming him
making
of
fun
his
of
beliefs.
making fun of their beliefs. So like if I went
Well,
around
no,
and
but
said,
that's different. Stop,
"Do you believe
stop.
in
That's
magic?"
different. I think that making fun of someone's bullying, but by me not believing that a male can be a woman is not me making fun of them. It's just I don't believe that.
Oof, I
Why are
gotta
you
strike.
equating me not believing it with me bullying
Yeah,
and
I don't believe
harassing
your
them?
Christianity. I don't believe it.
That's fine, but I don't consider that bullying, though.
Yeah,
You don't
but
have to affirm me
there's
that it's true.
yeah, I know, but the person who's a Christian kid doesn't have Christian dysphoria or religious dysphoria. The kid that you're bullying who's trans absolutely could.
You keep saying bullying. This kid has gender dysphoria.
Mhm.
Okay. This person that has gender dysphoria has been told that you are this gender. And if anyone doesn't tell you you are that gender, then you're being bullied. Well, they were just lied to. No, I don't. The rest of the world doesn't have to believe in that person's gender. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
If
I
they
know.
want to
And the
walk
rest of
around
the
like
world,
that, that's fine.
gender is very malleable, and for this to be a hang up for you is silly. But there's dozens of 70 something different types of genders that are recognized throughout the world, and for you to say that this is just your one belief that you just can't get past, even though it's just a different way you fucking move your mouth, you don't care about the outcomes. You don't care about that
No,
person's
I don't
mental
believe
well-being.
it because men and women have real definitions grounded in sex. It's an adult human male or an adult human female. I'm not going to adjust the definition in my entire worldview because these people want to be affirmed of a delusion. I'm not going to do that for them because I don't believe in that.
All right. I don't know.
Keep saying that I'm a bully, but that's fine.
You are,
That's
and this is 1% of our population,
no,
the
that's
most
gaslighting.
the most vulnerable population, almost in the United States, and you just have zero sympathy or humanity for them.
That's not true. I just will respect them as a human being. I will respect that they believe what they want to believe about themselves. They want to modify their body and take hormones. That's up to them. But don't force me to have to affirm them of their own belief system. That's like me telling you, Pickles, you have to affirm me that Christ is God. And if you don't do it, then I'm going to unalive myself. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I 100% believe that that's probably happened before.
Yeah, maybe, but that's insane. I'm not going to try and get you fired because you don't affirm me that Christ is God. Whatever. We could just move to a different topic if you'd like, but
Sure,
your whole chat saying I'm a bully. That's crazy.
you are.
Yeah, because I don't believe a male can be a woman. Okay. Um, have you always supported this? Have you always been a liberal?
I grew up conservative household. All of my parents are MAGA. All my brothers are MAGA.
Still?
Yep.
Damn.
My mom's a
Based.
flat earther.
Well, not based.
2% of y'all are flat earthers, by the way, which is more than trans people.
2% of Christians are flat earthers?
2% of the Republican Party is flat earthers.
Oh, well.
And that's even more delusional than anything you could point to.
And 2% of your party are trans?
It's one.
Okay. Well, we got delusional sides to our side, and you have a delusional side to your side.
Yeah, it's double on y'all's side, and the outcomes of somebody being flat Earth are far worse, like mentally. I think that
What?
I would say that these people are in such high delusion of like not trusting any sort of government or any sort of agency like NASA. They think the whole world is stacked against them. Completely unfounded beliefs. But when we see trans people, we can actually, with science, track and see how to treat it. And we see these people flourish a lot of the times after we treat them. But with flat earthers, they're just hopeless. They're insane. Their brains are melted. And most of them are Christian.
Yeah, I'm not a flat earther. I think that they believe in some crazy stuff. Do you know who Facts Still Matter is?
Yep.
That trans man does not like me at all.
Why would you say he's a trans man?
It is a trans man, isn't it?
No.
Oh. Look like one. Anyway, he or whatever that person is does not like me. They don't like that you have me up. It's so funny. You're a democratic socialist too, just like that person.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal. What's the difference between democratic socialism and socialism?
Democratic socialism believes in more social safety nets than the average Democrat. we believe in functions to counter, basically be a counterweight to unfettered capitalism and the wealth gap.
And you want the nation to socialize those programs?
Some programs, yeah, just like we have a fire department and police department, yada yada yada.
So you want more of those? You want more programs to be socialized?
Yes, other countries have proven that it is very good for the economy.
So you want more national socialism?
Shut up.
That's what you're saying. That's why I don't support it. I don't want the nation to socialize. I don't want companies to socialize. I'm a capitalist, and I believe in some regulation. But yeah, national socialism is bad. Any socialism is bad.
Yeah, well, if only the Nazis actually did anything socialist.
They did. They nationalized certain. Well, they nationalized certain industries. They believed in national socialism. That's what democratic socialism is. They want the nation to have more control and nationalize certain industries and socialize certain programs.
Yo, thank you.
By definition, National Socialism.
Thank you, Gerald. RC doesn't have an entire culture telling him he's a woman. He has no idea what it feels like. Yeah. The first thing they did was they arrested and imprisoned socialists, communists, gay people, trans people. You guys are right there with them. You guys are right there.
Yeah, no. They did a few things I agreed with, like burning the trans books. It's like one good thing of the many bad things they did.
You guys don't see the similarities?
I would have been throwing them on the fire too, the books.
We know you would have been on their side.
For the books? Yes.
For everything.
No.
Yeah.
No, not for everything. That's probably the only thing I was on their side for.
No, you would have bought into the whole thing.
Yeah, you know, the Soviets were even more anti-Jewish, like had concentration camps as well. But a lot of people on your side support Stalin and support the Soviet
I have never met
and...
somebody who supports Stalin. Never heard of him.
Okay.
Never, ever.
Sure. Well, he was a socialist.
We have literal neo-Nazis on your side, though.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Marxist communists on your side. Yeah, we have fringe people on both. But it's like the communists are allowed in government. It's like you can publicly admit that you are a Marxist and be allowed in public or polite
and
society.
you can be a proud neo-Nazi and be elected to government as well.
Wait, Hassan Piker's not banned from anything. Nick Fuentes is banned from everything. So no, you can literally be a communist.
That's not government. He's just banned from like YouTube. Because his
Nick?
Yes.
No, Nick was banned from airlines, banned from banks. It's not just YouTube that he was banned from. He was banned from like
private
everything.
companies.
He's banned from Uber. The government
his 100% of his rhetoric. 100% of his rhetoric is hate speech.
Okay, I'm not a Fuentes fan. I'm just saying the fringe on my side gets banned from everything, gets their bank account seized.
Hassan because they're violent.
Who's the fringe on your side? Hassan Piker said to kill capitalists and have the streets covered in their capitalist blood. He said to kill specific congressmen, sitting congressmen. No, that's even more violent. Like, what are you talking about?
Let me see what he said.
He said, and I'm quoting, to kill the capitalists and have the streets covered in their capitalist blood. That's a literal call for violence, and he's not penalized for that.
If you cared about Medicare fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Is that what he said?
That's one of the quotes. There's another more recent quote where he was talking about killing capitalists, unaliving capitalists, and have the streets covered in their blood. And see, people are saying, oh, it was an obvious joke, it's exaggeration. Okay, but when Nick Fuentes jokes about Jewish people or different groups, then he needs to be banned from everything. And it's like, all right, so you guys literally operate with double standards.
I'll give you that one. I actually am not a fan of Hassan anymore.
But that's again, fair. I'm not I don't a fan think of Nick Fuentes.
Yeah. I think that the entire purpose of groups on the right, like their end goal is to eradicate certain different types of races and for their race to flourish. and I think that is inherently violent. There's no way around it. But to be anti-capitalist is not violent inherently.
No, to be anti-capitalist is not. To call to unalive people and have the streets covered in their blood is violent.
Yeah.
I've never heard Nick Fuentes say to literally unalive people before, but he's banned from everything.
Yeah, but he's a Holocaust denier.
Yeah, he denies aspects of the Holocaust. I said I don't support him, but so you can't deny the Holocaust, but you can't call to a murder literally millions of people. Like what? So what Hassan Piker did is less bad? I just don't get it. The left operates with rules for thee, not rules for me, constantly.
Oh my God, that's complete horseshit. Trump
It's
himself
not.
pardoning people for fraud and then trying to call out fraud, and as a 34-time felon, arresting people for the most benign law you could ever break in existence is the epitome of double standards.
I agree it's a double standard. I think that Trump does stuff that is hypocritical at times, and I don't agree with it. I wouldn't push back with you there. I'm just saying, though, like Hassan Piker said very vile, violent things, and he's allowed on Twitch and every social media platform. He's not banned from anything.
He was banned from Twitch for that statement.
Momentarily. Like, he was suspended for a few days, but he's never been permanently banned. He's never had his bank account seized. He's never been banned from an airline. Like, anyway, it's just the double standards are so apparent.
Yeah. All right.
And you said that we want to eradicate certain races of people. You believe people on my side want to literally genocide. Like, you actually said.
Yes, I've had people up here and tell me that. Yeah.
You've had. I'm sure some people believe that. You think how much percent of my side do you believe wants to genocide certain races?
Maybe 5 or 10%.
Wow, you really believe 5 to 10% of conservatives want to cause a genocide?
When we talk about like Muslims, you guys are so disgustingly vitriolic towards any presence of Muslims in any community. Same thing with Haitians. You want to denaturalize Haitians and get them out of here. You guys are calling for remigration, which is literally a Nazi term. The government itself is using that word, remigration, in their ads to hire ICE members. They are specifically looking for far-right lunatics to be part of his secret police. And I'm not being like inflammatory when I say that. I really mean they're trying to look for far-right lunatics, like people who are actual white supremacists.
You don't believe we want these people to be unalived, because that's what you first claimed.
Well, I think that there's not much of a difference between putting them in alligator Alcatraz or sending them to third countries or to prison camps than unaliving. I think we're even with Hitler, the gas chambers came pretty late in the stages of Nazism.
Wow. Like, wow.
What's wild?
You're trying to
about
cut this correlation that, well, putting them, you're first of all calling these immigration camps, even calling it a camp's crazy. There needs to be a process in which that they're deported out of the country, and comparing that to concentration camps is insane.
You know, that was how it started with Jews, right?
No, Jews, first of all, were being taken out of their homes that were citizens of Germany. They were being stripped of their citizenship.
Mm-hmm. Like he's trying to do Somalis? Like
No,
he's trying to
not
change the 14th Amendment?
He's trying, well, he doesn't want there to be anchor babies going forward, but did he say it's going to be retroactive?
Yes, he wants to denaturalize people, yes.
He wants to take people that are currently citizens,
yes,
and strip their citizenship.
Yes.
Where? I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'll stand corrected if that's true. Where has Trump said, I want to strip them of their citizenship?
All right. Trump's administration has aggressively scaled up denaturalization efforts, aiming to revoke citizenship of hundreds of naturalized Americans. Department of Justice has instructed U.S. Citizenships and Immigration Service to target immigrants who have obtained citizenship through fraud or major crimes or by concealing material facts. But he has talked about doing this to Somalis who have been here for generations now. And he's been pushing this point for you guys to be crying about Somali fraud for almost a year now. And there's no one doing it. You guys are feral about it.
Well, there was legit fraud within certain
By how many
Somalian
people?
communities there. Even if it's I don't know how many. There was Somali fraud. That's
There's
objective.
280,000 Somalis here. How many of them do you think commit fraud?
Probably less than 1%.
And should they all be denaturalized for that?
No, I don't believe if they're citizens, they
Well,
should
I
not be
had someone up on my
denaturalized.
panel
No.
last night talking about how we need to send all those mother effers away, and that they're inbred, and that they're low IQ, and all this shit. It is starting to become a very mainstream talking point for y'all.
Well, if someone's a citizen, Somalian, somewhere else in Africa, somewhere in Asia, I don't care where they're from. If they're a citizen and they've been here, well, no, we should not strip them of their citizenship. That's crazy talk.
That's the ride Trump's taking you on, dude.
I need to see where Trump is wanting to retroactively take away their citizenship. I just need to see that.
Yeah, he's trying to get 100 to 200 cases per month. He's pushing for that number. He's trying to do much larger scale, and just the fact that he's pushing to amend the 14th Amendment is literally a case closed. What he's doing.
Yeah. I'm reading here. I mean, this is just very surface. I haven't done a dive into it, obviously, but that, yeah, you're right. I'm reading, this is AI overview, but that the Justice Department operations to denaturalize naturalized citizens accused of immigration fraud. Well, I'd have to dig into what that means, because if they got here under false pretenses, because you're saying that they've been here for generations, that's different. But if they got here under false pretenses and they gained citizenship fraudulently, then that is different. If you can prove someone gained citizenship
Trump has
fraudulently,
talked about deporting even citizens, hasn't he? He's talked about deporting them.
I think I don't remember under what context. He has said, I want to deport actual citizens.
Yes.
He wants to deport citizens that gained their citizenship fraudulently?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I disagree with him saying that. That's crazy. I'm not gonna defend that. Or I'm not gonna defend also the guy you had yesterday saying to deport all those mother effers that are Somalian. Like, no, that's crazy talk as well. If they are here legally under the correct pretenses, no, they should be allowed to stay. So,
have you seen the video? I'm sorry, chat, that I've shown this like 700 times now. But have you seen the way that Trump's administration, DHS, is handling hiring people in ICE?
I think that rushes some of them into it.
I'm talking about the campaigns they're doing.
No, I'm not seeing campaigns of campaigning for ICE officers.
Mm-hmm.
No.
One sec.
Officially confirmed in his warning that Tulsi Gabbard, the U.S. counterterrorism agency, just officially confirmed in his warning that DHS is using white supremacist imagery to recruit for ICE. So the Colorado Information Analysis Center is a state agency, and their job is to stop terror attacks before they happen. And they sent a bulletin to police across the country with a simple warning. The Department of Homeland Security is posting things to recruit ICE agents that are full of white supremacist code. Right, and here's some of what they pointed to. In 2023, a white supremacist murdered 3 black people at a Dollar General. He opened his manifesto with the lyrics to a song, and DHS is now using those same lyrics to recruit for ICE. The song's called We'll Have Our Home Again. It was written by a group called Pine Tree Riots that calls itself a pro-white fraternal order. The white nationalist group Patriot Front's been filmed chanting it. Also, DHS keeps using the word remigration, with a bulletin saying that word comes from 1930s Germany. The Nazi used it to mean forcing Jews out of the country. Also, DHS has been posting the Moon Man theme, which is an old McDonald's mascot that online races adopted because it looks like a Klansman. And on neo-Nazi message boards, users are openly talking about joining ICE to start a race war. Though DHS's response to this whole situation is them calling the posts bold and effective, which, yeah, sounds about white.
Yeah, I don't like seeing that. I mean, that's framing. If that framing is correct, no, I don't like seeing that. That seems pretty messed up.
It's this unforgivable. Like,
if it was just the song that maybe they used by accident, that's one thing. But there was like 3 anchor points there that it doesn't seem to be a coincidence. From that video, the framing of it, if it's all true, yeah, I don't like seeing that. I agree with the existence of ICE because we need to have an immigration policy, but if they're hiring and like they're like nodding at white supremacist groups to want to sign up for ICE, because that's what that video is putting off. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, Department of Homeland Security. Oh yeah. Someone who paid to kick you yesterday, Oslo the Curious Monster.
Gay
Says
Elmo
hi.
kicked me? Okay. Well, all right. I'll talk to you later then.
All right. W Oslo's in the chat. WW Oslo's. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah. So I think Trump is good because he signed legislation expanding healthcare options for some military veterans. Okay. Okay, good.
What do I think about avoidant issues? I don't know how that's political. I can identify a lot with being avoidant. I am avoidant. I probably have an avoidant personality. I'm gonna turn. Oh man, this person's calling in. I'm gonna turn the phone line back on. Here we go. Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Hey, what's up, buddy? I mean, we debated like 2 days ago, Pickles.
Okay.
We were like 2 hours, remember, on the Puerto Rico guy?
Okay.
I just donated. You didn't even say anything.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna read it right now. If it's over $5, it reads it to my audience. But
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know. I
Yeah.
tried to donate $5, but in that account I didn't have that money. I had it in another account. Sorry, I tried the $5.
It's all right.
So,
it's all right.
So, hey, I'll tell you this. I like your stream. Your stream is really good, and you should try to bring like other topics, like the Christian topic that the other guy was talking about. Because I mean, it's gonna do good for your channel. And you know what? I think there's some conservative in you still.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
conservatism is mostly feelings. I think that I'm more of an
No,
objective
no,
thinker.
I think you still have a bit of conservative in you. You know why? Because I debated other people like on YouTube, and they're mostly hateful. You at least, I saw you debate with this guy. That guy was pretty good. He made some really good points. But you agreed with some points. You were not like bigoted. You know, you made some fair points. He made some fair points, but you weren't bigoted like, oh, this guy, yeah. Because some YouTubers are like that. Like they're just completely biased. They'll gang up on you like a 2v1, 3v1, and they think they're like, oh, winning the argument. They have their hype men in their chats, and it's ridiculous. Because I mean, you can say, oh, 2 + 2 is 4, and they would disagree with you just because, you know, you're not on their side. So at least you're not like them.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, do you mind if I jump back to the subject of what the other guy was saying about the Christian thing?
Sure.
Okay. So I agree with him that, you know, I don't really think that, you know, me not accepting what, you know, your pronouns or anything, you know, it doesn't come from a place of hate. Like if someone genuinely, you know, walked up to me and you know, they demanded the pronouns without me knowing the person, without, you know, there's nothing, there's no prior experience. They're like trying to they know I'm a Christian for some reason, and they're just trying to get that gotcha moment, I just say, hey man, you're just really weird. Just get out of my way. I know what you're trying to do. But if this person is genuinely confused, then absolutely I'll get out of my way to try to help them. And I'll go eat with them if they want. I'll pay for their food. I'll help them in anything that they need because we do love them. But I don't have to agree with their lifestyle, if you get me. Because they don't agree with mine, and I don't hate them.
Some of them are Christian.
I'm sorry?
Some of them are Christian. It's not true.
So, some of who are Christian?
Trans people.
Well, that's the thing. We already talked about this. You can claim you're a Christian. That doesn't mean you are one.
I don't think that you get to be the gatekeeper of who's and who isn't Christian. I'm sure that somebody else would look at you and be like, this guy is not Christian.
Well, Jesus is the gatekeeper, and he said by his fruits we would know him. So obviously, there's some rules. For example, let me try to give you an analogy. So you're obviously streaming on YouTube, and you follow YouTube's guidelines. That's what you're a YouTube streamer. You also stream on TikTok. Let's say you streamed on TikTok only. Well, you couldn't say, oh, I'm a streamer on all platforms because I stream here. There's different rules that apply on TikTok than YouTube or Rumble, and you got to follow those guidelines to be like an actual streamer. It might be a bad analogy. I don't know if you get me.
I think there's a difference between like radical fundamental Christians or Muslims, and then there's moderate, and then there's a million different branches and sects of these like denominations, and all of them will point at each other and say they're not real.
Oh, you mean like divided? Like they're divided, like different
like some Pentecostal church is going to point at you, or you're Pentecostal. Some Baptist church might point at your religion, be like, well, you're doing it the wrong way. You're not a real Christian. My mom's Christian, and her boyfriend's Christian. I talk about the way I interact with Christians all day, and they go, oh, well, that's not a real Christian. Debatably, no one's a real Christian. Debatably, none of y'all have gone out of your way to stop disrespecting your parents, or to stop mixing fabric, or to stop eating fucking shellfish, or the list goes on and on. It's literally impossible to live by all the rules in the Bible, or either Bible, or the Talmud, or the Quran. It's literally impossible to do it. And everybody has their own way of going about it, but society has a grip on these religions, and as society grows and matures, they have to water them down for them to be socially acceptable, and that's how we have so many sects that we live by today. There are plenty of Christian churches that allow gay people and trans people into their church, and they would point at you and say, you're not a real Christian. You're not loving of thy neighbor. You don't unconditionally love your fellow citizen.
Well, you pointed out a real thing that's happened. It does unfortunately happen. Many Christians unfortunately are divided. And you know what? Jesus talked about this, so it's not a problem for me, because when you look at the scriptures and you see like the original and who's saying what, you know that you don't have a problem with this subject, because it was already talked about thousands of years ago. The Bible talks about there being more false prophets and false Christians than the real ones. The Bible talks about how in the later days, people would literally convert Christianity into merchandise, which it has happened. Yeah, yes, Trump himself. Yeah, I agree with you. They've done it like, oh, let's make a Bible for the veterans, and let's make a Bible for the nurses and for the cops, and it's just literally the same Bible stamped with a cop in the portrait, or fireman. oh, let's make a Bible for them. And I'm like, oh my God, I think it's ridiculous because the Bible is for everyone. It's not like, oh, this Bible is for firemen only or for veterans only. It's to honor them, or I think it's a gimmick. It's a merchandise tactic. But I don't have a problem with this in the sense that the Bible already talks about this, that they would convert Christianity. They were going to be false prophets in the later days. And yes,
and it's very subjective as to who that is, right? So there are people that would point at you and say, you're a false prophet. You're the false believer. You're carrying water for the devil.
Well, you know what's funny? Jesus said that we're going to be hated by the whole world. We're going to be hated by them. And when you look at the early Christians, they were killed. They were persecuted. They died for their beliefs, for what they saw.
And they also killed for their beliefs. They did crusades. They did war.
Yeah, if you mean the Catholic Roman Church, yes, they killed for the crusades. They fought with the Muslims. And yes, the Bible talks about, I was a Catholic for 17 years, and I'm 31, by the way. I felt nothing at that church. I did my confession. I did everything. And when you look at the Roman Catholic history and how it sprung into being, it's really the Roman Empire that, actually slept into and became the Roman Catholic Church.
I mean, the whole Bible thing is the whole story behind how the Bible is popular is because the printing press. In the time the printing press was invented, and the Bible became the most popular book on earth. It's same thing. It's just coincidence. You wouldn't even be Christian by any means if you were born somewhere in fucking, I don't know, in Middle East. You'd be Muslim. You wouldn't even investigate the ideas of Christianity.
I disagree. You know
what are your chances, do you think, of being Christian born in Iran?
Well, the thing is, you can be in the U.S. of A. and not necessarily be a Christian. I was born in a really Christian country, Puerto Rico, and I wasn't a Christian all the way up to 17 years old. I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm saying, but if you wouldn't have become a Christian at 17, you would have become a Muslim if you were in the Middle East.
The thing about Christianity, religion is basically man trying to search for God. Christianity, Christ, is God searching for man. So if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for God, I would not have been a Christian. If I didn't have an intervention with him, personally, I would not have been a Christian. So yes, I agree with you that there has to be some type of evidence, convincing evidence that makes you believe that, and that's what happened with me. I had sufficient amount of evidence impact my life by God, knowing that God is real, and for me to conclude this is real. Okay, the Bible is real, so this really happened, and God is real. For example, the Bible talks about, Jesus talked about prayer, right? He said, if you pray to God in the name of Jesus and you follow his commandments, then whatever you ask for, so as long as it's biblically sound, not harmful to anyone, then you shall receive it.
That's
that to the test.
That's not possible. That's not possible. With Christianity, there's automatically beliefs that are harmful to others.
Which one?
A lot of y'all don't like gay people. A lot of y'all don't like trans people.
Well, have you heard the testimonies of a lot of gay people that converted to Christ, and they said, "Oh, I was wrong. I was deluded. Christ saved my life." I can say the opposite.
I have plenty of people. We have more cases with, in fact, like a lot of them in the last month and a half of people who were like the head of the people who were head of conversion camp and conversion therapy to make gay people not gay. They got caught soliciting young 14-year-olds for nudes, all this stuff. They're all closeted, and you see this with the RNC crashing grinder. All this does is make people closeted. It doesn't actually fix the gay. Not that there's anything fixed about being gay, but it is shown that conversion therapy is literally just torture. It does not work.
Can I ask you a question? If you saw someone that had terminal cancer, like through their whole body, and there's a chance for you to kill the cancer, but it guarantees you're going to kill the person as well. You kill the cancer, you kill the person. Or, you know, would you just let it ride and kill the person slowly? What would you do?
I would let it ride, but I think this is a bad parallel because, like, being gay
Well,
doesn't
here's
kill
what
people.
you're doing. Here's what you're doing. You're looking at the cancer, which I'm also looking at. Yes, I'm not. Christianity is not perfect. It is not. There's many false people, and I agree with you on this. But you're throwing I mean, if you see dirty water that you got to throw out and there's a baby in it, are you going to throw the baby too? You know, you got to throw out the dirty water, clean the baby, and there you go. But you're throwing every single Christian, genuine Christian that really love God, really love gay people, and they really want to help them out. And I've been through this, you know, helping gay people. The other day, I saw a man. He was a man. He had his breast implants done. I prayed for him, and he received the prayer. And I asked him if I could pray for him. I didn't scold him. I didn't mock him, telling me he was gay. And every time I see him, I give him my hand, give him his hand, shake his hand, and
What do you
I don't
think
mock
prayer
him.
does? Do you think prayers change the course of reality?
In what sense?
Do you think your prayer has any effect on the outcomes of someone else's life?
Yes. Why?
Wouldn't that be against God's will? You just telling God telepathically, hey, I don't like your plan. Can you change it for me? Isn't that kind of narcissistic?
Oh, absolutely it is. But that's not what prayer is.
What is
Prayer
it then
is
if you're asking him to intervene in something that's already part of his plan?
What do you mean part of his plan?
Doesn't
Well,
he,
here,
isn't he
I'll tell you this.
all-knowing? Doesn't he have a plan?
He does have a plan, but not all the time his plan gets executed. That's why Jesus said, let your will be done as in heaven, as in earth. So not always the will of God is done on earth, not even by Christians, you know, not every single day. There's days I have not done the will of God, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I am sorry, God. I didn't do what you told me. Then his mercy falls upon me, and I can, you know, find his grace.
I think in short, what you're spelling out to me is that your religion embeds this deep, deep sense of shame and guilt constantly to where you have to ask for forgiveness. And if you ever go to like a therapist, that's probably one of the first things they try to start undoing is the shame and guilt you have surrounding certain things that give you trauma. That's why most people who leave religion, they need trauma therapy. Because this is what you do to yourself. You just think that you are undeserving of any kind of love or
I don't think I'm
whatever.
I don't think I am.
Unless
think,
you do these
I
things
don't
God
think I
tells
deserve
you
God.
to.
Well, I don't think I deserve God. That's definitely clear to me. I don't deserve what he did for me, what he's done for me, and what he will do for me. There's nothing I can do to repay what he did for me. Now, do I feel unworthy of the love of people? Well, I do not. I think I'm a pretty chill guy, you know, and I try to love people, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. I even try to love my enemies, and it's hard. It is. What Jesus teaches is you got to love your enemies, you know, give them food if they're hungry, give them water. So the message is pretty clear. It doesn't tell you, oh, go ahead and pull out your sword and kill all your enemies. Jesus taught the contrary. He said, pray for them. If they're hungry, feed them. If they're thirsty, give them water. If they need shelter, shelter them. Go to the
I don't
sick.
need a
Pray.
Bible to tell me to do that. Like, you see how I respect my debate partners every time they come up? Every single one of them I disagree with vehemently. And I don't need a Bible to tell me to respect them. And I get that respect in return. That's something I have that is morally superior, I think, to most Christians.
Well, I respect you the way I've debated you last time and now, and the way you conduct yourself. I think you're a really how do you say it, worthy opponent. I would say that. I say that as a compliment. You're pretty respectful with your opponents, the people you challenge. Not like I said, I think you're the first YouTuber I see that does this, because most of them are not like this. Like, they would bash you for your beliefs, they would hate on you, they would bully you. Everything you said before, that's what they do to you. They would hate you, they would mock you, they would ask you trap questions that are not asking with good faith. At least you're not like them. So that's what I do like about your stream.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so that's why I say I think there's a little bit of conservative in you still. Like, there's something inside still hiding somewhere that can be, because this is not the norm. Like, most people that deconvert, or they just hate Christians, man. I could feel the hate. They hate me, and I don't hate them. Well, why do they hate me?
I don't necessarily hate Christians. I have an aversion to Christianity. I have a lot of resentment
What is
towards
an aversion?
Christianity. I mean, I react in a unwarranted way towards Christian, or maybe even warranted, towards Christians, and it's because of their presence in making laws that oppress people here in the United States. I have those feelings towards them. I just don't like just full-fledged just like vomit all over you guys every time you come up, but I do get pretty nasty about Christianity sometimes. I more or less, though, look at people not with so much hatred, but I feel bad for them. I feel bad just the same way I would feel bad to talk to somebody who followed Charles Manson, or who was part of like the cult in Waco, or something like that. I would talk to them like a dying patient, somebody who's in dire need of help. That's how I feel.
I see. And I would agree with you. The Apostle Paul talks exactly what you're saying. He said, because of your testimony, the name of God gets blasphemed by the people that are outside Christianity, because most Christians, or so-called Christians, they don't really have a Christian life. They don't really have they really have a double hypocrite life. And I'm ashamed to say this, but it is real. It is, they act more mundane than the people that are in the world. And yes, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But you know what? It doesn't bother me in the sense that Jesus said a lot of people will try to go to heaven and they will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So God himself has standard for those Christians. He's not the guy to blame because of these Christians are like this, He already talked about them, and he has a place destined for them. You get me? The ultimate justice is going to fall upon them. And yes, it's very unfortunate.
Can I ask you, just as a personal favor, to maybe try not to do too much sermon or like preaching up here?
Okay. I mean, it's your stream, man. I don't want to. It's your rules. What do you want me to?
I don't know. Are you're a Trump supporter, right?
Well, I think we talked about this. I can support some things he has done, but like the other guy, the past guy you had, yes, there's some things I don't support about him. You know, like for example, the nukes he posted, the AI nukes he posted a couple days ago. I think there hasn't been a president in history that has done something as close as stupid as that. You know, I know it's AI, it's not real. I know he's trying to, I don't know, play a sick joke or something. You know, it's all bark, no talk. I mean, talk, no action. But he definitely has some crazy in him.
I think that, and it's true that 80% of conservatives are Christian or religious. And I think that what has skewed their opinion on Trump to make these things not a deal breaker is probably Christianity, probably religion, for the hopes that he is going to inject religion into this country with the law. And I think
see.
that's the only hang up people have. Are like, well, he does say Nazi rhetoric. He is like using the ICE as his own secret police. He is consolidating power. He's being an authoritarian. He is fucking up the world economy. But he's like kind of Christian. So I have to vote for him. It's conservative. Like that's where I feel like this is dangerous. This type of thinking that comes from being Christian, I think is very dangerous because it's convoluted. Like it's really clouded your judgment.
Okay, so I'll ask you this: is there anything Trump has done in his 6-year presidency? Anything that you support of him?
Yeah, he signed an executive order that fast-tracked like psilocybin and psychoactive or psychedelics for treatment for like depression and PTSD. I think that was good. I think he signed in his first administration Operation Warp Speed, which fast-tracked the COVID vaccine, which was good. I think that the rhetoric that he paired with the vaccine stuff was not good, though. But he's done some very, very few things that are good that I think anybody could have probably done. Nothing unique to him. I think a liberal would have been.
When did you stop being conservative?
I didn't know that I was conservative until around COVID. When I started watching political debates, and I'm a big logic person, and I couldn't bear to witness the people that were rejecting like science when we talk about COVID, talk about masking, talk about social distancing, things like that. There was literally only one party that was following science and not doing like lethal propaganda. And that's what made me start siding with liberals.
Okay. So is it cool if I talk about COVID or not?
Yeah, I guess just if I need you to pump the brakes, you might need, if I say something.
Oh, okay. So do you think, what do you think about the COVID vaccine? What do you think of that?
So there's not a single country or organization on planet Earth that has come around and said, oh, we found out that the COVID vaccine's bad or not effective. Every country, every entity, the NIH, everything, WHO, they all believe that the COVID vaccine was safe and effective. In the last 2 months, with the CDC under Trump's control, under RFK, denied to publish a study that showed how safe and effective the 2025 vaccine was.
No, but not the 2025. I'm talking about the early 2020 vaccine.
Yeah, and again, still, there's nothing you guys can point to. You guys can't say anything about COVID without making a common enemy out of like, what's his name? The head of the CDC, Anthony Fauci.
Well, I'm not an anti-science guy, but I'm also skeptical in the sense that I'm not an anti-vax guy. I do believe in vaccines. So rabies vaccines works. But when you look at the history, how long was it tested before it actually hit the market or it was done on human trials. Those vaccines took anywhere from 10 to 15 years of research, and you're going to tell me this new virus pops up, COVID-19, and in 8 months, we have the vaccine. Don't worry.
Yeah, still we
And
have no
is
science
it
saying
kind
it
of
was bad. We have nothing. We have nothing but proof that like countries who did take advantage
okay?
of the
How about
vaccine eradicated
how about
COVID.
experience? Did you get vaxxed?
Yes.
I got vaxxed. I got vaxxed not because I wanted to, because basically I was forced to be vaccinated. I vaccinated twice, and guess what? I got the COVID.
Yeah,
My mother,
that's a thing that happens. So
my
not all
mother,
vaccines work the same. If you get
my mother
vaccinated,
got
it has a
yeah.
100% chance of giving you an immune what's called an immunity reaction. So like your body starts building immunity, and if you were to get COVID, which you did, you didn't go to the hospital, did you?
Yeah, well, the thing is, man, I got COVID. It hit me really hard. Like I had to be quarantined for 6 days, quarantined, and
You weren't put on a
I
respirator, right?
I wasn't, but I wasn't. Thank you. I wasn't, but I was. I was. It wasn't the worst sickness I ever had in my life, but it definitely was the worst cough I ever had, ever. It was terrible, and I felt like the vaccine didn't work at all.
It absolutely did. You're 12 to 14 times less likely to be hospitalized if you're vaccinated. We have nothing but the entire world participating in this study. We have places like New Zealand who had a 96% or 94% vaccination rate, and they eradicated COVID before anyone else. They didn't have mass people dying. Still today, there's not like this huge amount of people that like died or something because of the vaccine. None of that came true. They fear-mongered and took political advantage of people and their fears. And there's people today, even my stepfather who needs a fucking kidney transplant, will not get the COVID vaccine, therefore will not get a kidney because he's been so propagandized
wow.
and fear-mongered from this. He will
Well,
fucking
I
die.
mean, I got it. I got it because I had to travel a lot and I needed it. I'm like, okay, let's do it or whatever. I'm not like anti it. I just think, man, you know how much money that the pharmacy industry made in those years? Millions, billions of
Yeah,
dollars.
and they
just because.
saved millions of lives, billions of lives.
I mean, I don't know. There was
There's
some
nothing but
people had
science that
like,
shows that. There's
but
nothing but science.
there's also the science that shows that some people that got vaxxed, they had really, really bad side effects. Some of them died.
There's not very many
You
people
know,
that were so
and you know what? But here's the thing. You talk about being what's the word? Propagandized? Yeah. So, I mean, but you're only listening to one side of the world, like
I'm
US.
listening to the whole world.
Well, but there's some local news that's never going to hit your like table. You get me? Your feed. And I've heard some, and yes, some people got like really bad side effects of
But what is some? What's the number? There's 1.2 million
I
people
don't
that
know, man.
died from COVID. 1.2 million here
Yeah.
in the United States. That is more than every single war the United States is engaged in times
Wait,
2.
how many? How many?
1.2 million.
Wait. Million or wait. 1.2 million have died of COVID,
Yes.
and you said you compared it to what?
To every single war the United States is engaged in put together times 2.
Well, that's not true.
Well, it is.
World War II had way more casualties than
Not U.S.
1.2
casualties.
million.
Not that. So the Civil War, 500,000. The Vietnam War, 65,000. The Middle East, 4,000. How many people did we lose in World War II?
I am not sure. Let me check. But it has to be in the middle. It can't be. No,
400,000.
Okay, so maybe how about World War I?
And then 291 of those were from direct combat.
How about World War One? well, it's still it almost breaks
100,000.
even. It's like almost breaking even. It's almost a tie. But yes, you're right. 1.2 million. So you do support Trump in some things. So that's cool because there's some extreme liberals that just hate every single breath that Trump says. Everything gets,
Trump
he can do something
is
good.
the most inflammatory political figure like in U.S. history almost. I don't really, yeah, like he is right now certainly the most inflammatory figure alive on Earth. He says shit that we have to digest as a society every day.
Did you vote for him like in the not this election, the past one?
No.
Were you able to vote?
No, I didn't even vote until 2024 for the first time. I had no idea what I was doing.
Okay. I mean, you're basically maybe in your late 20s, right?
Man, I appreciate it. I'm 37.
You're 37. You're 37?
Yep.
Dude, you look like you're 26.
Appreciate it.
Man, I want to be a liberal too. If that's No, I mean, I'm kidding, but I mean, you're 37. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, hey, you got some good genes on you. That's amazing. You look like you're 26. Well, anyways, going back to Trump. So you didn't vote the past election. Why didn't you vote? You weren't.
I wasn't aware.
That much into politics.
No.
Did you support him back then?
No. When I saw
You
Trump
never
won
supported him?
presidency, I was like, wow, what the fuck? But I didn't really know what that entailed. I didn't know what Republican or Democrat meant. I just knew the way he talked was just fucking awful.
Okay. Do you think he's a racist?
Yeah.
Like full-fledged racist?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case. I mean, I heard. Okay, listen. I heard the video that the one with what's his name?
Philip DeFranco.
Philip DeFranco. I saw it when you were debating the other guy. I mean, if that's true, yes, that's awful. That's crazy. But calling him a racist against who specifically?
So in 1973, he was sued by the federal government for denying black people housing. He's also taken out a full page for the Central Park Five. Even after they were exonerated, he did not withdraw his opinion on that. He still stands by it today. He has said that he would never let black people count his money. There was an account in Congress where he said that certain people didn't look Native American enough for him for them to own a casino, and that he could be too. He's called Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. He has quoted Hitler multiple accounts.
Pocahontas, I mean, that's got to be a compliment. I mean, Pocahontas is beautiful.
Okay, if I took some token black figure and I called someone black in Congress that name, would that be racist?
If you, I'm sorry, go ahead again. I didn't hear your.
If I were
question.
to call somebody who is in Congress a famous black person's name just because they were black, would that be racist?
Well, that depends on the intent. Because,
well, his intent definitely wasn't loving.
Let's say Michelle Obama, she's a black woman. And let's say I called her Beyonce, also a black woman. I mean, Jesus. I mean, call someone Jesus Christ. That would be like a super compliment. You know?
Really, I don't know, man. I like if I think that still kind of falls into the line of racism. No, like
Beyonce's a beautiful woman. And you're comparing like, oh yeah, it depends on in context. Like context is everything.
Like, what is the connection between her and Beyonce? Besides being beautiful,
Beyonce's a singer, dancer, actress.
What's their connect? Like, what do they have in common?
Well, I'm just pointing it out. I'm not saying.
The answer is that they're black. That's it.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna point out like. But it's recognized that Beyonce was at the time was a really gorgeous woman, and you know, you call it, oh yeah, you know what, you're Beyonce, you look like Beyonce, or you know, it depends on context. It depends on what you really want to say. You
What
get
about
me?
calling Obama Kenyan? And there's people that will still bring this garbage to my fucking stream all the time, saying, "Oh, Obama's Kenyan. He's not even a real American. His birth certificate was fake." Like that definitely enraged and empowered white supremacists.
I mean, calling Obama Kenyan, is it racist?
Yes.
Well, probably. If like I said, context is everything. Because if I said, well, the ethnicity of Obama is Kenyan, then I wouldn't be racist. But like if it's like, oh yeah, you go back to Kenya, you little, you know, go back to Kenya, Obama,
Well,
or
his
something like
whole
that.
deportation thing, coupled with that type of talking, could be pretty much construed the same way. But the thing is, he wanted to delegitimize Obama's presidency, which is way worse.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think black people do you think they can be racist against white people or not?
Not in America, no.
No?
No.
I mean, there's a video of a woman like telling Elon Musk, go back to where you came from, and then they told her, well, he's from Africa. And then she was dumbfounded. Like, oh, okay. He's African, so he's just from the white part of Africa.
So
I
racism requires prejudice plus systemic power. So there's no systemic power that punishes white people and gives them like higher prison sentences and a higher chance of being pulled over, or to not get a loan for a home, or to not be called back on a resume.
Well,
so that's not racism. It's prejudice.
I think that's basically what you're describing is the effect of racism, but not racism itself. For racism, for me, let's just go to the simple core definition. Racism is you think one race is superior to the other. And for example, a white person, you know, I'm a white Puerto Rican. If I think I'm better than a white American and I'm superior because I was born here, or a black person, just because of race, you know, my race is better, they go under me, don't even talk to me, whatever, then yes, that's racism at its core.
It's bigotry. That's prejudice and bigotry. But you wouldn't be able to use the arm of the government to enact your prejudice. That would be racism. Ism, the ism part of that word implies there's like a machine or a mechanism. So like alcoholism. If I were to drink 1 cup of beer, am I an alcoholic? Am I doing alcoholism? No. If it was part of my daily life and it was part of this vicious
alcoholic
cycle,
is like the addiction. Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, I agree.
So that's
you
what
drank
the ism
alcohol.
comes
You're not
from.
an alcoholic.
Sexism, same thing. If men run the country, we have a you know, a country and a system ran mostly by men, and then they say sexist shit or derogatory things towards women. That is sexist. But when women do it to men, that's misogyny or misandry.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Isn't misogyny like men to women?
Yeah, sorry, I corrected myself. Misandry.
Oh, okay. I was a little bit confused. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, there's videos of Trump in video that's actually in video. He gave a job to a black woman like in front of everyone. Do you think it was a PR stunt, or he genuinely wanted to?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think that was racist. I mean,
Dude, he has multiple PR
racist.
stunts. One very famous one was like in a McDonald's where this black lady like got really super excited. Oh my God, I love you, Trump! And it turns out she was literally just like a political operative that has done many other things for the Republican Party, and she was hired to do that. So, and they also, you can see Trump's speeches where they purposely put like a bunch of black people behind him when he's doing his speeches. It absolutely is performative, and just saying like I have a black friend doesn't make you non-racist.
Okay, so you said black people can't be racist,
right? Not here in America.
Not here in America.
No.
I think I can disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. Would you live and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just a simple question, right? I'm being open-minded. Would you live in a ghetto black community? Do you think you fit in there well?
Yes, and I have.
Oh, you have.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean,
I wouldn't call it
there-
that, but I've lived in a community that was largely black, largely people of color. Uh, yeah, all the things that come along with that. I have.
because I understand. Listen, I understand where you're coming from. I think I understand you. So, how do you fight racism itself? Is it by being violent, defensive? And I get, going back to the point where you said earlier, you said if you bully someone enough, they might commit suicide. That is true. That is absolutely true. However, not always they commit suicide, and sometimes you create a villain. You make them snap. And you know what? The quiet kid in school starts at school, pew pew. I don't know if you're going to get censored if I use the word.
You're
I'm
fine.
not going to.
Yeah.
Okay. So they start at a school, you know what? And they kill innocent people that they didn't have any, or people that treated them wrong. The Columbine High School shooting, which I 100% disagree with. I think it was the first school shooting in America, 1997, was it, or 99? Okay, so that school shooting, even I do disagree with it, it was targeted for students that bullied them or they just didn't know. But they did have friends that they did spare, and then they committed suicide at the end. And that was a product of bullying. They were the outcasts. I disagree with what they did, but there's some other school shooters that, they take it upon kids, that had nothing to do with their bullying, nothing to do with their outcome, straight, pure evil. Like the other one was evil, but this is like another level of evil,
I don't really believe in
And-
evil, but I got guidelines. But I do think that people could have mental problems, mental health problems. I think that people can lash out at their community if they've been wronged and stuff. But to dismiss it as something like evil is to kind of say that you're helpless and that this is something supernatural. And I don't think that that's helpful for anybody.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. But I'm trying to link that point with the racism part. So let's say a black person has been bullied their whole life for being black, lost opportunities. They don't have a father figure in their life. They don't have a guidance. Okay, and they became the villain. They had no help, and now they became the villain. Does that justify their actions in any way? No. So let's say they hate white, because there's some black people, they hate white people, and they call them white. They call them derogatory names.
Yeah.
To white people, and they had nothing to do with their upbringing. They just straight out hate white people, and you can hate.
They'd say it's very justified.
But is it all white people, man? Because there's some white people that I'm
It's
a
all
white
until
person.
we're none. And
I love black people. I love black people. Every time I see them, they're like amazing people, and I try to learn about their culture, and they're amazing. I do Uber. I take so many black people in my car, and they're just amazing to talk to. They come from Kenya, Africa, Nigeria. I think they're an amazing human being, man. So I don't think that racism shouldn't even be a thing, man. It's disgusting. So, but yes, there's some black people that do hate actively white people, and I think they might be hating on the wrong ones. You get me?
Yeah, I still wouldn't
I
say
would.
it's racism. I would say maybe a little bit of prejudice or something, but I also just don't even think prejudice is the right word because you could almost say it's justified. If you just look at the history of the United States and what we've done and what we're still doing, they have
Yeah, we're
every
still doing it.
right. They have every single right to be upset with white people.
White? Do you think white people is the problem?
Yeah.
I mean, but you and me are white, and you're trying to fight the cause.
Yeah,
You're not
I would still
obviously
say
not part of.
even
You're obviously not part of the problem.
well, I think just about everybody is racist. I think just about everybody has some racial
What?
prejudices. Yes,
What is
and
that? What do you mean everybody is racist?
so if I were to take you and put you in a hospital and you were automatically a doctor or a nurse and you administered painkillers to people, we could probably find the data that shows that you might administer more painkillers to people who aren't black or less to people who are black. That's something we can find, and it's called inherent racism. So it's something that maybe you not be like consciously aware of doing, but you absolutely do take actions in your everyday life that are a product of racism.
Hmm. Did you see the movie Get Out?
Yeah.
2017. Okay. So I didn't see it, but I know what it is about, and I know the message that it's trying to bring out. So basically, the message is there is racism in America till this day, and that's a real thing. And I get that there's Republicans that say, "Oh, racism is not a thing." Oh, we don't, and it is. It is a thing, unfortunately. And yes, it does happen in politics. It does. Yes, and everyone has. You could say everyone has their bias, but like everyone is racist. Man, that's a real stretch.
I don't think so, man. I think that if you're part of the system and you don't speak up about it, you're absolutely part of the problem.
Don't you think black people can be racist against themselves, against black people?
Yeah. Internalized racism. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's most black people end up killing statistically other black people,
That's the
and
same across all races. So white people kill white people, black people kill black people. It's just a fact of crime.
you know, and the thing is that it's very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate that racism. I think it has hit an all time high. Um, there was many people that also talking about Trump. You know who was a great Trump? Well, I think the biggest Trump supporter was Charlie Kirk was one of the biggest Trump supporters out there. You know what? You know what's funny? I supported Charlie Kirk a lot more than what I supported Trump, even though he was a full-fledged Trump supporter. I
I think
supported him.
Charlie is absolutely a racist and a white supremacist.
You think so?
I know so. Charlie Kirk
Dude, but
perpetuated.
how can you?
Charlie Kirk perpetuated
Okay,
this ideology called the Great Replacement Theory. Do you know what that is?
mm, elaborate.
The Great Replacement Theory is a far right, widely debunked white supremacist idea that people are coming into your country to replace white people, and this started mostly in like Europe, and this is more prevalent, and it works better because there are actually a lot of Muslims, and they reproduce a lot more than the average white person. Uh, but they brought it here, and Charlie Kirk would make tweets about it, saying that Great Replacement Theory is not a theory; it's a fact. He also said things like Democrats want to see this nation become less white.
Okay, so I mean, not everything Charlie Kirk did I supported. I'm just saying, I was more a supporter of him than not a follower, but more supported more his message, because his message was he was a real Christian, more Christ-like. You know, he preached that was his main
It's
goal.
extremely misogynist, extremely
But
hateful towards
here's the
trans
thing.
people, towards black
I can
people.
pull up. I no, but I can pull like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different videos of Charlie sitting with black people, supporting him. Are you going to say they're deluded? Or are you going to say their opinions are invalid? Are you? They
No.
said they even said there's
Just
a
like
video.
a misogynist can hang out with a bunch of women. It doesn't change anything.
And you know what? You want to explain what I know it's something to do with man and woman, but misogynist meaning that man is superior than woman. Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Charlie was a misogynist. I don't think he was a
He literally
racist
says
either.
women shouldn't even run companies.
Well, I would disagree with that if he did say that.
It's very
He did say that?
misogynist. Yeah.
Did he give a reason why?
He just thinks they're ill-equipped to run businesses successfully and that this world needs to be led by men.
Do you agree that there are some jobs that are more, how do you say it? More targeted towards men than women. It's not that a woman can't do it, but it's more like she shouldn't do it. Do you think every job is for a woman?
I think that we can look at a multitude of studies that show, for instance, to directly contrast what Charlie Kirk believed, that women are more equipped to be leaders. They score higher on on a multitude of things, like empathy, and every single company that is ran by a woman performs better. That is what a study shows. We have a study of tens of thousands of companies, and companies with women in the C-suite performed better.
There are some professions where women are better than men. Teaching is one of them. That's a very, very, very important fundamental. How do you say it? Fundamental profession. Without teachers, we would literally probably didn't even know how to write or speak correctly or read. So let's give props to them. Mostly are women, So I'll give them that.
Like you might be able to make a case for like labor-intensive things might be easier for men, but I still would say
Microsoft right now, the CEO of is it the CEO of Microsoft? Is a woman, I think, or the CEO of Xbox, Microsoft owned company, the Xbox.
Yeah.
She is literally doing a lot of things that should have been done a long time ago, and they're praising her as the savior of Xbox. So I could agree that some women make way better decisions than men, but you got to give it to you. Men are physically, biologically way stronger than women.
I think maybe we're better at grunt work.
Yes. So just because you're better doesn't mean you're misogynistic, that a woman shouldn't do it. For example.
But that's not what Charlie's views were. His views were that women shouldn't lead. And that the man's job is to protect women and shit like that. This is still perpetuated by your religion.
But that's okay. How is that misogynistic, saying that men should protect women? That's actually true.
It's self-defeating because men only need to protect women from men.
Right. But
so if men just fucking figured out how to not harm women, we wouldn't need
that. That's not going to happen. There's always evil men out there. There's always, a bad guy out there.
And I would also say that women can also very effectively protect themselves against other men, given the right tools.
Physically?
Sure. We have pew-pews now, right?
Oh, okay. I get. Okay, yeah. Second Amendment. I get it. Okay. Yes. But also, what stops them? I get what you're trying to, the point you're trying to make, but
I
you
just don't.
know,
This like fundamentalist stance on men
I
versus
don't, I
women
don't, I
is
don't, I don't.
very it's very controversial. Is very misogynist. Like the attitude that men need to like walk around and be the protector of women all the time and be the leader and stuff has pushed women like like oppressed women to keep from excelling in the workplace or excelling in government. That we
Yeah,
still haven't had a female president,
yeah. So
and this is the product of that.
basically is basically, yeah. In Spanish, that word's called misogynistic or machista.
Yeah,
That's what it's called.
machismo.
Um, yeah, machismo. There you go. Oh, you know a bit of Spanish. Okay. So yes, I could say that some men can abuse this power and then convert it into machismo or misogynist. Um, and yes, that's oh, you're gonna do what I say because I'm the man of the house and blah 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 blah. I don't agree. I don't think that's how it works. You can be the man of the house, but that doesn't mean that gives you like the authority to belittle women. And you say it has everything to do with my religion when the Bible actually teaches the contrary. It says that the women are the fragile vase, and we should, um, they have different feelings. They have the way of thinking is different, and we should love them like Jesus loved the church. So I don't
Yeah, but
agree
it
that
also
the
says to
Bible.
not let women speak up in church, to not be able to become priests, that they need to stay at home and be mothers and caregivers, and that itself is like a
But you
paradigm
remember
that
when I said
is
you
harmful.
you remember when I what's funny? I read that today, and you know what? It is a difficult subject to to tackle on, but when you read it in context, and you understand the history, when it was written, why it was written, it is very it is it is not that the Apostle Paul was misogynistic, because otherwise he would be contradicting himself, because he was the one that said, "Men, love your wives like Jesus loved the church." So that I would argue, like, if he's telling us to love our wives like Jesus loved the church, or basically with our lives, giving our lives to them, um, I think the reason why he said, "Oh, I'm not going to allow women to um, say this in church or whatever," he was speaking to the Corinthians. The Corinthian church was full of problems, a lot of problems to solve at the time, like a lot. There was division. There was people that were saying, "Oh, we're from Paul, we're from Apollos, we're from this guy," and he's basically rebuking the church because they're obviously an early church, and he's correcting them on their little faults that they'd have. You got to understand that the the Jews at the time, yes, they were misogynistic. Yes, they were. They absolutely were. But it also, in the same book of Corinthians, it also says that when a woman prophesies or prays, you know, um, so yes, there were. It's not that he didn't allow them. It was because of the problems that were happening at the time, and it was there was a lot of Jews at the time. So to specifically this church, he told them, "Yeah, I can't allow this because of basically the Jews." And how do I know that? Well, because his in the book of Timothy, he tells Timothy, "Hey, you know what? The circumcision is nothing, but since your mother is a Jew, and your dad is a Greek, he's a Gentile." He tells them, "You got to circumcise because of them, not because you need it, but it's just because they think you're going to be unholy or anything. So just to play it safe, you're going to do this." So there's your answer.
All right. Hey, we've hit an hour again. I appreciate you calling. Do you want to give me a call some other time?
Hey, man, you know what? Thank you, Pickles. Thank you for the time. We'll talk some other time, and I really appreciate you having me.
Anytime, dude. Take it easy.
All right. Hey, you too, buddy. God bless. Take care.
Chat, I do have a Venmo and Cash App in the bio. If you guys are trying to support, it's one of the best ways to do it. Also, consider becoming a super fan. It's $10 a month, and it helps me pay my bills. Guys, we started dipping in viewership after like a little bit of a stint of that, but let's see if we can get back up there. We're almost at 100K, y'all. Tap the screen. We might have 1 or 2 more debates left in us, and then I don't know. It was. Yeah. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots. Guys, I'm gonna try. I just got this dog gravy so that Pickles can eat her fucking food that I get her. I'm gonna try putting gravy on her food, see if she likes it. Sophie, thank you so much. Thank you all for the gifts. Eat your food, Pickles. Ah! Sailor Moon. Thank you for the $5. Caller was lonely. Thank you so much. Y'all, if I miss your super chat, I'm so sorry. I try not to. My ADHD brain can only manage like a few things at a time, and sometimes when I see like a donation, I have to like focus on the conversation and just I completely lose it. So I'm sorry. We need Puppy Pickle sticker back. Is there still not one? Guys, don't forget to follow the stream, by the way. This plus sign is still up here for you guys. Click it, and you'll know every time I go live. By the way, if you're on YouTube, you're welcome to call this phone number. Ooh, Ruth Ann with the dragon crown. Let's fucking go. Tomorrow, do you guys want to do a music stream for Friday? Type a 1 in chat if you're down to do a jukebox stream. It's where we pay, I think I'm going to do $3 per song. When we play the music video, we chill, we hang out, we share each other's music. It's been so fun. It's been so fun. I literally have people asking for it all the time now. You know we do? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Anything from the heaviest, girthiest metal to grindcore to folk blues, sweet, somber music, Whitney Houston, everything. Hello, is this a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
All right, what do you like about Trump?
Well, I'm calling you from the field right now, and I think the biggest thing I like about him is that it was written in the Akashic records that there would be a figure that would arrive in 10,000 years in the future, and he is going to bring about, like, you know, the great sort of rejuvenation of the human race. And I think that it's either him or Ted Cruz, but I'm starting to think it's him because of what he's been doing, you know, what he's been doing for the world in the past year.
Okay. So you think Trump, like, strangling Cuba and making thousands of people die and bombing school children is the great rejuvenation of the human race?
Well, you got to think about Cuba. You got to think about, you know, Cuba is this tiny little island. In the end of the day, you know, the sacrifice of Cuba is necessary to bring about the end of the Kali Yuga. Because right now the Kali Yuga is only on track to end in like 423,000 years or something. But I think with what he's been doing, you know, all this really good stuff about the tariffs and the border, it's going to bring it forward. Maybe it'll only end in like 8,000 or 9,000 years, which is really good.
Thanks for calling it, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. Say Caligula? What's the Caligula? Oh! The same guy. No. No, if you're not serious, please don't call up Kali Yuga. The fourth and final epoch of the Hindu cosmic time cycle, widely known as the Age of Darkness, the Age of Vice, according to traditional Hindu cosmology. An era characterized by decline in moral virtue, spiritual ignorance, and societal decay. I will give him that. That might be what he's referring to. He might be right on that. That's actually fucking crazy. Whoa, dude, that's sick. That's fucking sick right there. That's dope. Dang, dude. New tattoo? I'm down, dude. I'm down. I'm down. Guys, I would love a new tattoo. I dare y'all to raise funds for my tattoo. Maybe next week. Maybe next week we'll do tattoos. I would love a tattoo. It's a 2. I think we should all go get tattoos one week. We should all decide on a tattoo and go get that tattoo. You know what I saw? Dude, okay. I did this Amazon search last night, and if somebody's got money, you should go into business with me. There is not a single Antifa membership card on Amazon store. Can y'all believe that? There's not a single Antifa membership card, nothing that even resembles it. How has somebody not done this yet? Guys, I literally was like a sneeze away from falling asleep, and I Googled this. Not a single person makes an Antifa card. Like, I want a copper, wallet-sized Antifa membership card. And while we're at it, we can make, like, Justice League membership cards to sell those, diversify. Guys, I need a small loan of $100,000. Who's with me? What are we listing as headquarters? Guys, my mass text or my group chat here on TikTok is actually called Antifa headquarters. They would use this against us for real? I would not doubt if Amazon has pulled those products. Guys, 100K, and I'll give you 10% profit share. Going once, going twice. JoinAntifa.org. Does it just go to the White House? Oh, it's shut down. Whoa. Pickle's mom's basement. That's right. Amazon cares about money. Gold foiled? No way. Not gold. We need like copper, maybe even nickel. I think nickel would be good. Maybe tasteful. Maybe for some of the higher ups, we got gold plated. I think LGBTQ can have gold plated. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the women too. I was thinking about green. Antifa's official thing is it's like red with 3 down arrows. Trump's ruined gold for me too. I said platinum. Yeah. Etsy has them? No way. First time in San Juan, mi hijo. Sing it, chat. There's really nothing, like I'm on Etsy right now. Did Amazon remove Antifa merch? Amazon has issued a blanket ban on all Antifa-related apparel and a wide variety of democracy, anti-hate clothes. Third-party sales really available to browse on Amazon. However, Amazon on Dynamic Marketplace. Kelly with me. Oh, thank you so much, Kelly. Thank you, Zella. The company does not allow items that incite violence, glorify hatred, or target protected groups. Individual listings may associate Antifa and periodically removed if they violate these core guidelines and feature graphic content. Our community just tiered up. Let's go. Steampunk. Put this towards my card, please. Name is 2 A's. Thank you, Aaron, for the $5. Oof. Amazon removes stand back and stand by merchandise. W. Yeah. Guys, I think we might be wrapping up. Should we raid somebody? Mi hijos? If you guys don't know that song, I gotta show it to you really quick. It's so good. This is my favorite one.
Machines in the bus station on my first time in Puerto Rico, first time in San.
Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt. I love her so much. Why your favorite one? Because it's Jennifer Love Hewitt. Raid Matt and Nemo? Yes, let's do it. Let's raid Matt and Nemo. Let me put their thing up here. Politics of Matt. That's not you. Yes, it is. First time in San Juan, mi hijo. Dun-dun-dun-dun. All right, guys, go raid Politics with Matt. He's live with Nemo. Go tell him Pickle sent you. Give him a big old fat juicy pickle injection. And start chanting the words to the Puerto Rico song when you're in their chat. I love y'all. Big smoochies, badoochies. I will